Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Ladies First Panel. What's going on, everybody? I hope that you guys are coming in and I hope that you guys are respectfully liking the video as you guys come on in. Y'all know we do this every Thursday, except for like one Thursday out the month because we do need a break, girl. And we're going to take two of them this time. All right, but we'll let you guys know when we will return. But anywho, make sure you guys are liking up the video. I want to check on my girls and make sure they're getting ready. Are we getting ready? All right. Okay. Guys, please make sure that you all are following us on all social media platforms at Bondy Blue, at Jami ThatsMe, at Necey Dixon. You're welcome to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at OohLadiesFirst. And if you have any questions of any sort, any advice or anything, go ahead and send it over to OohLadiesFirstPanel at gmail.com. All right. Hey, ladies. So what's the going on? How is everybody on this lovely Thursday?
We good, girl.
Doing good.
Real good.
Yeah, I'm good too. Y'all know birthday is around the corner, honey. I don't went to go see Beyonce and got my y'all. I cried. I cried.
Oh,
I did.
I would
I
have.
did. I did. I didn't cry like some videos I saw. People cried like, "Oh my God, it's Beyonce." No, I cried when she got to her second song, which was 1+1.
Oh,
And I thought about
yeah.
my man, and I was
That
just like,
song always does it to me. That
What a
song
"Bruh."
always
beautiful
does it to
song.
me.
Right. And listen, that woman's amazing. If y'all haven't been to see Beyonce, please go. When I tell y'all she is
That's
like
why
the
me and mommy ain't going.
production,
Did
That's why
she
the
me and
sing
mommy
Rather
ain't
Die
production.
going.
Young? Because
I don't
that's
think
that
she's
song for
on that
me.
one. I don't think she's
Damn.
on that one. She
Damn.
ain't singing that one. But her production, y'all, it looked like you were watching an award show. Like the cameras was flying all over the place and doing their thing. The screens did what they needed to do. Her vocals, the mic was on. She sounded just like the track. Like it was phenomenal. And what I liked was I wasn't really crazy about the Renaissance album, but what I liked, there were some songs I liked because there were some things that went viral. She kind of like intertwined some of her old stuff in with that. Like the bit, she cut the fuck. Listen, and I ain't know I would be as excited as I was to see Blue Ivy bring her motherfucking ass out there.
She
It was
did
like
it.
I was
She looked
watching
like she
my little
killed it.
sister. She did. I
Did
thought
you
I was
see her the
watching like
night
my
she was
little
wearing
sister, my
camo?
baby. Huh?
Did you see Blue Ivy the night she was wearing camo? What was she wearing?
She had on camo. Yep. Her and her
Okay,
mom.
yeah,
Yeah, they
that
had on
night.
camo. Not the one with like the orange and blue jersey on. She had on the full, and she got out there and did her thing. The way that she stopped when Beyonce said, "This is my bloodline," and everybody went crazy. I was like, "Get this shit. You better cut the fuck." It was great. They did such a great job. Her dancers, amazing. Everything. Like y'all gonna look, if y'all have not been, you guys are going to definitely love the show.
Girl, yes.
Just
Cause
be careful. People been finessing with tickets.
I heard.
Yeah, they've
how
been
so?
finessing with tickets. Like, I guess they've been like editing certain tickets and make it seem like they're in a certain section. Like I listened to this one girl story time on TikTok, and she said her and her friend went to the bathroom. They came back, somebody was in their seat. She asked them like, "Hey, y'all in?" Or she said, "Y'all in our seats?" And the girl said, "Well, they're in our seats, so we ended up sitting in y'all seats. My bad." So they're trying to make these two people move, and the people wouldn't move. They kept saying it was their seats. So when they go to get security, the people were like, "Well, our phones are dead. Our phones are dead. We can't show you our tickets or something like that. Like we can't show you our tickets because our phones are dead." But of course, those young ladies had their phone fully charged, and it says that they're in this section. So eventually, it took a minute though. It took a minute for them to finally get their ass up and leave, for security to tell them to get the fuck up. And a lot of people have been kind of like finessing tickets, and it's like, okay, you can finesse all you want. Like some people said they were supposed to be in the nosebleeds and made it to the floor. That's fine.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to their seat and it's time for them to sit down because they probably paid $300, $400, $500 for their tickets. Go ahead and just get your ass up.
Yeah.
Just get up. We kind of had that. We went to the bathroom, came back. These two people were sitting in our seat, and the lady was so confident that it was her section. My homegirl looked at her ticket and said, "But y'all in section 118 over there." Yeah, this 119. So she gets up, y'all. Lady had an attitude. She was like, "Oh, excuse me."
Cause y'all had that
Bitch, you go over
direct
there.
view, Jam. Y'all was
Listen,
right here.
we
So
was
for
right here.
119, she was gonna have to shift a little bit. So I
Shift
know
Yes.
her
over.
heart
I'm like,
was,
bitch, you should have known that you was not in front of the stage, girl. You're on the side of the stage. Get over that way,
yeah.
okay?
Listen, we got
Period.
tickets for
She
the
was
New
mad.
Orleans show. And Lyric, I think, got us in one of the like 140 or something like that section, which I think is absolutely like in the center of of the arena. So I can't
Yeah.
look online and make sure. I think it's like section 141 or whatever.
Please.
But I'm excited. I'm getting an outfit made. It's gonna be real or whatever. And it's
I
gonna
like
be in Lyric.
that.
So if y'all want to play, my security is there. Okay.
Period. When
I
is
have
she
no
coming to
idea
New
what I'm gonna
Orleans?
wear.
September 27th, I think.
Okay. And when is she
And
going to your city?
The 21st.
Mm-hmm.
Of August?
September.
September. Okay. Bet. That's y'all gonna have a blast.
Yeah.
Because it was everything. I really enjoyed it.
Like, y'all don't understand how badly every day I battle with myself. Like, do I just want to buy Houston tickets on the day of, or like resell my Dallas tickets, buy some other ones in Houston? I just want to get to Houston so bad. I feel like that show gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that.
I
believe that it's gonna be fire.
Did I tell y'all that Candy told me that she wanted to invite me to her section for the Beyonce, but she knew I wasn't in, I don't live there. She was like, because I had DM'd her to congratulate her on them getting the second season for Candy in the Game.
Yes, that's
and
dope.
She was like, and I was like, y'all look like y'all had fun, at the concert. And she was like, yeah, I really was thinking about inviting you, but it was last minute, and I know you don't really, you don't live down here. And I was like, I need to fucking move.
I think it's about that time. I think it's long overdue.
It's feeling that way. We're working on it.
You've been talking about it.
I am, and it's just it's just hard. Y'all know what it is. Like a lot of things happen. I told y'all a lot of insurance companies and all of that failed out here, so we had to get it's just a lot of shit with this house that makes it hard to move on to getting another property. But I'm talking to my CPA or whatever, so we gonna see, what the business stuff can do. Because if I can get a cute little condo on, on my business, I can,
that would be awesome.
Hit up Rob,
and then you can probably Airbnb or rent that one out. Not sell it, but like rent it out. That would be good.
Yeah. Honestly, I probably would just rent it out to my mom, but I want it to, be a certain way first. You know what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
So, we trying to work it out, girl, but it's tough out here.
I feel you. Well, it's all definitely gonna work out in the end for sure.
Always
that's exciting. And I think that's so I just love that about Candy, man. Like she will you know how some people say network across kind of like she doesn't mind like networking, like if we're not on like the same like level as her, like she doesn't mind. She really do see herself as a regular normal person, even though she like rich as hell. And I love that part of her and the humility of it all. So listen, I got this video I want to play. And I just want to see if you guys agree. I want to know if you all think that he may have spoke a word when he said this. So let me go ahead and get this up on the screen. Let me see if I can switch my tab. And I may have to refresh this because y'all know how it do sometimes. But this is Devon Franklin giving a message to the ladies. And I just want to get y'all opinions about it. So, let's see if we can refresh it.
It says in verse 22, this is the creation of the woman, Eve. But you don't hear Eve coming into the earth saying, where's my man? Huh? Am I reading it right? It says the man said, Eve came into the earth. Watch this. Adam was the one who was broken. Eve came into the earth whole. She had both ribs. Society wants women to believe you're broken if you're not with somebody. But God says the woman came into the earth complete, not seeking or needing anyone or anything. I don't know who I'm talking to today, but you got to stand in your power. You are one of one. There's nothing wrong with you if you're not with somebody. You as a woman are complete. You're whole. And I got to say it because I'm tired of us supporting a culture that tries to make women think there's something wrong with them if they're not married. It's just not true. This is really interesting.
I kind of think he gave a word. What do you ladies think about that? I think it was a message for like maybe a few pick me's. What do you
Message
guys
for
think?
some. Oh, that would be a motivating and uplifting message for all the pick me's for sure. But I agree. I mean, when I start thinking about other religions like nuns, they
Mm-hmm.
don't have. Yeah, I agree. I don't think they really need men.
I
And I don't. I mean, I feel like women know that men are kind of just like an addition to whatever you already have going on.
mm-hmm.
But we're capable of like all the labor that men do, and we do all the extra stuff too. So yeah, I think that was a good word.
It was, but
Oh,
but I'm just going ahead close this right quick. Um, the thing that bothered me about this thing is that I feel like I see what's happening. Devon is smart. Devon is
Mm-hmm.
not just a preacher. Devon is a like celebrity preacher type. And I think that he's paying attention to what's being said out in these streets. And
oh
I
yeah.
think he's trying to curtail his message to
Mm.
who the women who are paying are. And you cannot continue to give women this old antiquated way of religion if you expect them to continue to give their money over to it. Because
Mm.
as you've seen, the church numbers have decreased. And
They
all I
sure
heard in
have.
there was the voices of women, which tells me he is pandering to his crowd. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, yeah, we can say she came in the world whole and all of that, stuff, but we can also say that y'all still blame her for the fall of man. So his point is cute, but it's low key irrelevant.
Mm.
You know what I thought she was gonna say, Bondy? I
Hmm.
thought she was gonna say he was building a roster so he could fuck.
Oh, that too.
Girl,
It's
not
always the
Eric
goal.
Jackson.
I
Not trying
thought
to
you
put
was
him over
gonna
there with
say
it.
that.
Well,
Like
because
y'all stay single so I could be the one.
yes,
I cannot.
absolutely.
Y'all can be the
That's
ones I fuck
another.
on.
Absolutely. Women, come and give me that coochie. You are one of one. And let me be one on top of you. Absolutely.
Hmm.
I
Him
do feel like
barely.
no,
Let me
because
be
y'all
one
know
on
I
top
feel
of you. Stop.
Hollering.
I feel like all of the pastors essentially like they can say what they want to say, but there's a wanting to be admired thing that a lot of them have. And I think that a part of wanting to be admired is wanting to have access to all of the women that admire you. If not originally, that's what ends up happening all of the time. So, y'all can
Right.
pretend like that wasn't y'all goal, but a lot of times it feels like, oh, I'm preaching the word of God, and then all of these people get, swept up in the word, and then, they want to love on me because I'm telling them God's but yeah, y'all be manipulative.
I wonder
Mm.
how many other people gonna start preaching like that. I don't. I'm sure people do, but I've never heard a word being preached about women like that. Like usually when I hear the preachers talk about women, it's usually Mother's Day. It's usually their
Yeah.
contribution in the Bible, but it's not like it's never to encourage like independence.
Right. When Bondy was talking, it made me think of that pastor from Martin. And I don't know if you remember that pastor that would always
Yes,
want to
I
touch the
do.
ladies and be like, "Get
David
me
Allen
down."
Greer.
Oh,
Yes, yes, it made me think of
Hilarious.
him. I'm like a lot of pastors are like that. I do think the message could have been very well more spent. When you put it like that, it does make me think. Angled it towards a lot of these men because they're the ones that create the culture. I think a lot of women may have already knew exactly what he was saying. Of course they clapping, they agree or whatever, but this message really should be more so for the men because they create that type of environment so where they make you think that you need them or whatever the case is. So I feel like
mm.
he might need to like work on that part. I know you want to speak to us and that's great and everything, but you really need to speak to your brothers high key. That's what the conversation need to be for, because you said that you're tired of this culture where the women aren't creating that culture. They are. And I feel like they're creating that culture because it's very clear, especially black women are like the most successful women in the United States. And they probably
Yeah.
trying to figure out where they could get in and fit in. And the best way for them to get in is by attacking you in some shape or form, making you feel less than, making you feel like you need them or whatever the case. But um
I would love to know what
yeah.
Megan Good thinks of what he said. Because
Mm,
as soon as he started talking, I was just wondering how this word goes in line with, what they experience in their marriage.
mm.
I have no idea one way or another, but I'm just interested to know.
What
I
she's
know
thinking about that.
I know one thing. Her ass should be single right now instead of walking around in them fucking sunglasses in court with Jonathan Majors
with
looking
your
like a
head
fool.
down.
That was the angle I was thinking when you brought it up, Necey. I was like, I wonder what does she think, being that she's in a new relationship now, whereas she could continue her healing journey. Because, like, okay, so do y'all think after being with somebody for 10 years
They
that,
were together for 10 years?
yeah, I believe it was 10.
Oh,
9
wow.
or
That was
10.
fast. That felt like it
Right.
went by fast.
Do you think that a year is too soon? Because I feel like she only probably took a year off from dating. You think that's too
No.
soon, or people should give themselves more time?
No, I
Look at
think people
you.
should listen. I think people should move at their own rate.
See, because this is what I thought about. I felt some type of way when Nene moved on within 6 months of Greg's passing. I felt like that was a bit much, especially for you to be posting the man everywhere. Now I'll say this: yes, if Megan Good want to move on, that's fine, like within a year. But I wouldn't be showing up to this man's court cases.
Oh,
like I just still
like
can't
do
get
it
over
quietly.
the fact. Yeah, you gonna stand beside this man like a boyfriend? Are you serious? And you
like
don't
a
even
husband.
really know.
Like a husband. Really, you go to court with husbands, bitch. Stop going to court with your boyfriend. Let that nigga go to court by himself.
Right, you can get another one. I'm like, what is going on? So a year is fine, but you shouldn't have been sticking by his side.
Okay. Well, we have one lady that's not sticking by nobody motherfucking side. Hello. So let's get into her, because she's like, I'm not doing a motherfucking thing. Okay. And that is Miss Keke to the Palmer. Now, y'all know Keke Palmer ended up doing I meant to show this image because this is the man. Okay. So first of all, Keke Palmer.
Ursula, why you do this, Jamie?
I should have chose better. I think I should have chose better with everybody. I think everybody could have had a better picture. My bad, y'all. But y'all know Keke Palmer was called out by her baby daddy a little while ago because he didn't like her attire or what she had on when she went to the Usher concert. Let's be honest. Let's be clear. The real issue was Usher. That's what he was so pressed about. Okay. Ever since he came out and voiced his opinion, Miss Keke has been out here doing her thing, letting people know she's a motherfucking mother. And she don't care nothing about what this is talking about. Okay. So much so that Usher has done a new video, and I believe it's called Boyfriend or something like that. And I kind of saw like snippets of it. I haven't watched the whole thing. So she's in the video now. And it seems like some people feel a way about it.
They do, but I loved it. I thought it was funny. I thought she was trolling. And honestly, I think that's what you do. Like when you are a private person and somehow your private business gets put out in the media, you're supposed to capitalize off of it. You're supposed to make it a moment. Like when Beyonce got cheated on, Elevator, all of that shit, you put that shit in your music, and you keep it pushing. You don't do interviews and talk about your personal business, but you're going to put it in your work. I'm going to go do a video. Well, fucking Usher, something I always wanted to do that's gonna make me money, like that, that raises my profile. Like all of that is positive for her. I just think people want Darius to be on some level that he's not. I think y'all think it matters that he's her baby daddy, and I feel like it doesn't. Once he decided to cross her very, very hard boundary of taking their personal business to the public, once he decided to do that, he was a liability and he needed to go. And I think he's been gone since then. If you ask me, I think they may have been around each other and not gone public with the fact that they weren't going to be together because they still co-parent and stuff. Because I think they were seen at a party together like 4 days ago, somebody's birthday party, 4 or 5 days ago, something like that.
Oh, okay.
But they were seen together. But at the same time, just because they went out together doesn't mean that they are together in a relationship, So when this came out and then he turned around and everybody was like, he's moved on. I'm like, after the video comes out, now y'all want to tell us that he's moved on. Yeah,
why is everybody saying that? Is it pictures of him with another woman or something?
No, I think he moved on from the situation.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think he's with somebody else.
I keep hearing that he's moved on. And then another comment I kept hearing was that Keke Palmer just made it worse for her and her baby daddy. But yeah, I watched the video. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they was broke up before this. Like
that's what I'm starting to question.
I think they were.
Before I didn't know. Before I thought they might have been together, but now that she done did this video, it's like her level of give no fucks has she don't give a fuck at all. And the
Virgo
video was
tendencies.
really cute. The video was not like the way that she turned around and did all that posing at the actual residency. It wasn't really none of that in the video. It was cute. She had the you don't have to call outfit on. She was not worried about that man. So it just is what it is.
And hold up, there were a few cues in there. Okay, so first of all, when at the end, well, she did the peace thing, which made me feel like they weren't together. But at the end of the video, the phone is ringing, and I think it was supposed to be him or it was Usher, but it was the Usher song about we could never be together. And we had, you know what I'm saying? We can't stay together or whatever. So it was a breakup song that was playing. Yeah. That was the ringer. And then when she picked the phone up, she was like, oh, I'm so tired. I missed the concert. Well, I'm a mother. And, she gave to the camera. And, we saw Usher on the phone, like on the FaceTime. And she was like, I didn't think you was really going to call me. So, it definitely was given no fucks given. And I broke up with him. And these are the little, clues in the video.
That's very possible. I wanted to get y'all thoughts on the post that was made, and they're saying that somebody says, I'm gonna be real, social media be having a lot of trouble admitting when women are losers for real. This definitely is corny. And then this woman says, if a black man did what Keke Palmer is doing, black women would be calling him all types of lame and corny. This is just another example of black women praising women for doing things they say they hate that men do. What are y'all thoughts about that?
When did we say we hate when men go to shows and dance on women? Because they go to strip clubs all the time, and now y'all have the women in the strip clubs with them. So when who said that?
Right. I don't know, because I feel like I'm a little mixed on it. I probably would say that he's lame or corny if he's dragging it, right? If he's constantly doing things to let people know like he's not with her no more, I probably would drag it. But at the same time, it's like if a woman's man went to a concert, I don't know. I mean, everybody's different. But if the shoes were reversed and he went to the concert, he took his shirt off, and let's say it's Carisha dancing and grinding all over him, I don't think Keke would have said a goddamn thing. No, I don't think that she would have said, you're a father. I don't think she would have done that.
So, and if she did, the internet would have lit her up for it. That's the thing. So like, if
let that man have a good time.
The beginning, I feel like it was lame of him to be complaining about what she was wearing at a concert where she really wasn't doing nothing and it was a full audience watching. So if I go back to that, it's like, okay, you want to play games? I'm gonna be a damn clown. And it just is what it is. I don't think I would trip if the shoe was on the other foot. I'm so tired of people trying to flip shit, and like that's their new way to try to make it like women are wrong. Kind of like last week how I was saying every time somebody talk about a black issue, people want to talk about Jewish stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They do that all the time. It's exhausting. Like the oppression Olympics are always trying to one up you when you're trying to make a point about what we're talking about right now. And honestly, I feel like Darius is showing himself to be the insecure, light-skinned male that I knew that he was based on how he looks. I think that her mistake was even getting pregnant by him in the first place. That was her mistake.
I agree. I thought so too.
That's the only thing where I feel like she fucked up. But at the end of the day, women have babies for corny ass stupid niggas all the time, and it's because at the end of the day we got to bring these kids into the world, and women want to be mothers. And if you got the money and the means to take care of your child like Keke does, his presence is not exactly that important. I'm sorry, like I know everybody's gonna lose their shit, but don't Keke got a daddy? Like I feel like the baby got a baby got a granddaddy, so the baby be okay. Like, and she, I don't think women should be bending themselves into a pretzel so that they can keep up a family image for everybody. Because why is it that it was okay for him to put all of their business on Front Street? And as Nola Reed said in that super chat, he also was like flying bitches out. He was in the DMs trying to fly a girl out on Keke credit card.
Oh
yeah.
Thank you for the super chat, Nola Reeves. Where was this outrage for him ruining the family when the women came out saying he was flying them out on Keke credit card and on Spirit at that? Yikes.
You know they
He
never
never
care.
submitted.
But
He
where
never
was
released an apology either. That's the thing.
right? Never did.
It would have been better if he would have acknowledged where he went wrong and said how he actually felt about it, which it was never about the outfit. You was just in your feelings.
And I
So
feel
he should
like
apologize.
They
where's
might
the
have been broke up.
outrage? Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think too. But where was the outrage with him putting his tweets out about, I guess, the standards of what he would want in his baby mama or his girlfriend, but you didn't want that same standard in making her your wife if you cared so damn much. So ain't no one nobody saying that about that.
Yeah,
So
it was
it
definitely
is what it
given.
is.
It
He
was
didn't apologize about those tweets, right? That's what you're
no,
referencing.
he didn't
Yeah, he didn't
apologize.
apologize about none of that. Yeah. None of that. And
I
nobody
mean,
said anything, called his card. Really, it wasn't a lot of backlash, in my opinion. On, well, why you just ain't marry her? If you feel so serious about your standards and how a person should portray themselves as the mother of your child, why you just ain't marry her?
because he was just trying to trap her. He wasn't trying to really be with her. He was just trying to trap her. I feel like they weren't gonna stay together anyway. I think that he wanted to get her pregnant, as she had said before. He was more down for it than she was, and I think he saw himself as the pretty little, professional Keke Palmer husband without actually having to propose to her and marry her. And you thought you were going to be able to use social media to shame her into doing what you wanted her to do, as if you didn't also post her body nude on your internet. So I feel like it's one of them times where a dude is really like not who he pretends to be. And you find out in moments like this where he gets his little ego bruised, and instead of coming to you like an adult, he tries to use the internet to shame you.
Right.
Like, that's
And it bothered
violence to
me
me.
because she posted him like he was her husband. Every 2 seconds was like, my little family, my little family, my little family. I'm like, this is all too much too fast. Yeah, this is too much too fast. Like, Keke, I'm glad you got your baby and you're so happy, but posting the man like that, like y'all package deal now, I want to slow down.
I'm gonna tell you, she didn't know any better. She didn't know any better. Like, think about it. Keke has probably been very sheltered from dating for a very long time because she was focused on her career, and her parents probably were worried about people taking advantage of her. She might have had like, experiences with people and stuff like that. But as far as like, serious relationships and having a baby and somebody who you actually show into the public and all of that, I think a lot of that is relatively new for her, because I know she's my age. Like, she's like 34, 35. She's like 32.
No, it's not new for her. She took a break from posting, but she had another man that kind of looked just like him.
Yeah, and I thought it was a white boy.
Just it was before him. It was a while back though. It was before. He kind of looked similar to this guy. He was mixed. He was like light skin or mixed. He kind of looked similar to the man that she's dating now. So when I saw him, I said, "Oh, okay, I see her type." Like, it's not too much different from the guy she dated years ago. But they broke up, and I can't remember how the breakup happened, but I think that he could have been like verbally abusive or something like that.
So she's even younger than I thought. 29.
She's 29. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that means Keke don't know no better, girl. Keke just figuring it out. I'm glad that he did what he did though, because otherwise she probably would have let him play with her for a lot longer if he hadn't done her the one thing that she was the one thing that lady asked him not to do. I feel like he could have done anything behind the scenes and she would have forgave it. But but him coming to us, that was the because you could fuck up my career, and I'm trying to build a real solid career. I can't have no nigga telling all my business to the media whenever he get mad at me, and that's exactly what that give.
Fucking with her.
The nail in the coffin, in my opinion, of course, part of it, him coming to us, I feel like it would have been things she could have forgave, right? She would have packaged it up, made it look cute. It was them tweets that came out about him and the shit that he said, and it was like, okay,
racial,
yeah,
racial, and misogynistic.
Yeah, she didn't do her research on him. She didn't do her research.
She didn't even run a background check.
That colorist thing you got going on over there, Keke. There are other spectrums of niggas. Okay? There are other color spectrums
Listen, the next one gonna look like Usher. Watch. The next one gonna be giving Usher for sure.
I want to just get a girlfriend because honestly, I'm starting to think, are some of these dudes beards? Because I know you've been honest about your sexuality, but it still looks better to be honest about it and then still date men publicly. Because you know, for women, it's not a big deal. But if you get caught with a girl, it's more detrimental than if you just admit you with them. But if you were actually like outwardly dating them, I think it would be harder for certain Black people to receive you. So
she did say that in an interview, didn't she? She did say that she was like open or something like
that.
She
said she was pansexual. What word
I thought she said she was bisexual. That's what I thought she said.
Maybe
she's
so,
bisexual.
But yeah.
Cause I mean, I told y'all I met her one time and that bitch hugged me so good. I was just like, oh my God.
No, oh my God.
No, for real. Like you don't really meet people that hug you with their arms around your whole
not celebs.
Exactly, not celebrities. And that lady hugged me with her arms around my back. And I was just like, oh my God, Keke gives amazing hugs. So I just want Keke to get a girlfriend and go sit down somewhere. Like you got your baby. Please find a way to Queen Latifah the situation. Because we know you like girls. And these niggas you keep dating. Yeah, these niggas you keep dating are problematic. And you don't seem to do your research on them ahead of time, which is a huge mistake that you keep making. Girl. You gotta get
Thank you for the super chat, Snowy. I appreciate you.
She said she was queer. That's the word.
That's what it was. I knew she
came
said
out she was queer.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
She said multiple things, child.
Oh, okay. But it's clear that she's not just only into men.
Yeah, that wasn't no surprise.
Nope. She liked playing gay girls.
Yeah, when she had that role, like years and years back when she had the locks, she was in that role so heavy. I was like, oh, yeah.
The one she did with Jordan Peele, she had that vibe in that one too.
Yes, she did.
Oh, the note one?
Nope. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wasn't she bisexual in that one?
Did they say it in that movie or did they like hint towards it?
I thought she had like a girlfriend. Maybe
she did.
She had a girlfriend in Nope.
I don't think we ever saw him, but I think it was something that was implied.
Yeah, she talked about it, but we didn't see it.
Okay.
Y'all, I know girls can hurt you too. Don't I tell y'all how I can't?
Some of them girls do be ruthless though. They be girl.
But women are still way more safe than men, specifically in this business, in the entertainment business. Like you can say what you want to, but fucking around with men will have you fucked up with other men. Like the things that men do to you and say about you will end up getting you hurt with other men. Like women can say things, but like there's nothing a bitch is gonna say about Keke that's gonna really, you know what I'm saying, like ruin her career besides something that would ruin her career anyway.
I guess not. I'm trying to think of somebody. I don't know why I keep thinking about Erica Mena and Sin Santana, because whatever Erica did didn't stop nothing. It really only exposed Erica more than it exposed Sin. So
Erica was giving, she was giving fake lesbian the whole time, girl.
Absolutely. Let me find somebody that looked like me to attract more men. I was disgusted about the whole thing. It was very theatrical.
Yeah,
because Erica's theatrical.
Yeah.
Can we talk about more theatrics?
Please.
Okay.
I want to get into this type of these theatrics. Can we get into this? This
is Derek Jackson or what's his name from Love and Marriage? Marceau.
Derek Jackson is worse.
Which one?
Derek Jackson is worse.
For me, it's gonna be Marceau.
Really?
Yeah, Marceau gives sloppy body. Derek just gives giant.
Yeah, I'm looking at these arms and these shoulders, like, oh my, like they're an extension of his neck, like he's a dinosaur or some shit. Like, my God, take a break from the upper body days, my dude. Lean it out.
Can you breathe? Embarrassing. Lord. It's not as embarrassing as the interview he did recently. Yikes. So I want us to get into this interview that he did. Well, first of all, he's on the tour, I personally feel, with a lot of different interviews. So he's doing one with Dear Wifey podcast. So we're going to check out that clip. Bondy sent us something earlier today where he's doing an interview with Willie Moore. And I'm like, God damn. So this girl did one interview, and here you are on a press tour. But let's get into what Derek had to say. Let me go ahead and get that on the screen.
Have aggressive energy towards a woman, except in intimacy. And so how I would express my affection oftentimes was aggressive. Like, I want to pick her up. Yeah. I don't just kiss her. I pin her up against the wall, put my hand around. I'm not trying to get graphic. Yeah. There's context here. So, I come up behind her and hug on her, kind of aggressive. But that would make her really, really shut down. I ain't never been so sensitive to rejection, because we all get rejected, but this is the first time I felt that. And what felt safer was to go out and at least have friendships with other girls. Just the conversation felt like receptiveness, like acceptance again. Mm-hmm. But those loose boundaries turned into no boundaries. So, if we continued to clash and she continued to pull away or what have you, and I'm not getting no answers or whatever, I'm, especially in my prideful state, I'm thinking, man, she got me effed up. So I'm over here doing the right thing, and she over here acting like I ain't nothing. So now there's a party tonight, or there's a girl on campus, and then she got her own dorm room. And that's whenever I started messing around.
Which is interesting. Now I realize something. You were trying to be on the straight and narrow, and that aggressive personality that you had, because she told me, she told us on the podcast, that she had experienced a rape 2 weeks before y'all met.
Everything that happened that was really painful was really one long repetitive pattern. Right. Me feeling rejected for this, that, and the other. And she handles, becoming okay again a certain way. But I didn't know certain forms of affection that were natural to me just felt scary to her, put her back in a certain space where, certain things that happen. So, yeah.
And that's so interesting. It's like, I'm getting understanding. It's like you have this woman who has experienced this huge violation of her body, her soul, her spirit, this brokenness. She meets this guy who she says she just loved the mess. She loved your dirty draws. You're wanting to show your affection. You grabbing her by her neck. You being aggressive physically, from a sexual standpoint. She's getting nervous. She's getting triggered on all levels. Don't even realize that she's being triggered like this. She's closing up rejection to you because you've experienced that growing up. Mom no longer is kissing you and tucking you in bed at night. Rejection. So now you're like, well, now I'm going to go self-medicate. I have this history of looking at porn, and now the way I self-medicate is watching this. So now I'm going to do the outward extension of that. Yeah. Now I'm over here hanging out with girls. One thing leads to another. Now you over here smashing. Now it's triggering her. How did she ever find out when you first cheated on her?
I don't have aggressive energy towards a woman.
All right. So y'all just pretty much heard the cap or the bullshit that was coming out of Derek's mouth. I'm not featuring Derek because I do feel like he has, as I said earlier, the gift of gab. He knows how to package up his stuff. I feel like he primarily was making her the problem. It seems like because, and I feel like a lot of men say this in relationships, you weren't showing me affection. You weren't doing this for me. You weren't doing that for me. And this is the reason why.
Martel.
Okay. You weren't doing these things is the reason why I went out instead of trying to actually sit down and like communicate. I was thinking to myself that I probably shouldn't hold that much against him, considering the fact that they were like in college and they were like 20 years old. And a lot of times you're not thinking about that, but you also said that you were so in love and you felt like she was the one. So if you felt like she was so the one, then you would have wanted to try to at least communicate and figure out what's going on. And also not just be out here fool out line with these other women. I don't be understanding. If that's what you want to do, just stay single. I mean, college was your playground. You ain't have to wife this girl up.
I'm going to tell you what it was.
What was it?
I think he saw the victim in her. He saw that she was going to be the maid, the mattress, and the mule for him. He even said it in that other interview. He was like, I had found the perfect woman for me. I didn't have to do as much. It was her expectations were low, and she felt like you were a godsend to her. So that's why you wanted to be with her, because you knew you would be able to use her as an endless source, because you didn't get all of the attention you wanted from your mommy. And because your dad wasn't around and your older brother didn't help out enough, all of the explanations that you want to come up with to basically say that her sexual assault trauma response is the reason why you had to go and cheat on her. Because to be clear, he's 30, what? He's lying about his 34. He's lying about his age. I think he's lying about his age. I could be wrong, but I'm 35. My homeboy is 36. My homeboy went to Tuskegee with him, so that he could be telling the truth about his age, but I low-key think he's lying. I think he might be a little bit older than he's saying he is. But either way, I feel like when we were coming up in college, it was very much already a thing to be aware of sexual assault, to be aware of asking for and getting consent. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at him like the fact that you were continuing to be aggressive with her and not paying attention to the cues and shit like that. Like, why would you never have a conversation with her? You talking like she was always doing this. So why would you never have a conversation? Instead, you go and cheat on her? Like, it just feels like bullshit. It feels like you knew what had happened on some level, but you didn't care. You still just wanted her to do what you wanted her to do because that's what you got her for. You need to be lucky that you even with me because look at you. He could talk about how beautiful he thinks she is and all of that, but let's be very clear. You got with her because she looked homely. You got her because you knew that other niggas wouldn't be stressing behind her, so she would be sitting at home being something you could come back to after you was out in the streets doing your bullshit. You always knew. He always knew he was gonna be able to get what he got out of her, which was her allowing him to do what he did.
I agree. I think he was planning on doing that the whole time. He says him and her said that she never exposed her assaults until 5 years later.
I was just gonna ask that, so I'm glad you said that, Jamie. I was wondering if he knew about the assault back then. But yeah, I feel like I see a lot of that activity in college. I can name at least 5 people right now who I know I went to college with, and they was single until they was married because they knew they had somebody to stick beside them. And that's really what it was given. But as far as this conversation, I saw this clip. I would say I'm interested to watch the whole video, but I'm really not. I just want to hear about how he held himself accountable for what he did, like when they were full grown adults. I feel like when you in college, you still a kid. You still running around being trifling and you know what you're doing, but you don't care under the excuse that you're a kid. But once you decided to marry her and actually like start a life, I just saw his chest pump in that video. Anyway, I just want to know how he held himself accountable for that. The college shit, I don't care. And then I hate how every time a man is done wrong, you always want to talk about some shit that happened when you was fucking 3 years old. Your mama stopped kissing you goodnight, so you felt like that was rejection. I really hate that the internet has given people access to like therapy talk. I know I do the shit sometimes, but I feel like on the flip side, people really weaponize that shit. And that's a little bit of what was done in the interview whenever the host kind of tied everything together in between questions from the point of where he was a kid to the point to where he cheated on her.
Narrative.
And he did not do there was no accountability that was taken in this interview. I have to listen to part 2, but there was no accountability. The only part of accountability was him saying he wants to take accountability, but not showing how that accountability was actually displayed. It seems to me he's forced to take some accountability, I suppose, by coming to the front, having to speak on this because she kind of put it out there. And he feels like that forced him to come out and talk about it. But as far as accountability, like he talk a good game, but he ain't really talking about shit. He keeps talking about the trauma and stuff that he dealt with childhood, his daddy not being there. But sir, you had a whole apartment downtown somewhere else, not even living in the house with your kid. So you don't think that your children are experiencing the same thing that you experienced because your daddy had to go back and be deported back to Jamaica? So you putting your kids through the same thing. The only difference is you thinking that you providing for them financially is enough because you kept seeing that your mama had to do it by herself. So that's the only thing that he was really focused on, was being, so he says, a good dad. But to him, in my opinion, a good dad is only providing the money. And a lot of men that are in that position, hey, Cliff, how are you? They think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just provide and that's just enough. And then I expect you to operate how I want you to operate. Or whatever. But some part of that I do blame Danae for, because she set up the play for that to be okay, for him to continue to disrespect her, them to be together, break up, be together, and all of this other shit. Like, it's
because she felt like she was lucky too.
Yeah, I remember her interview. Didn't she talk about how she used to wait at the bottom of the staircase and a girl would come down the staircase, she go
And
up
she
the
would go up.
staircase?
Yeah.
That's what she said, but
That's-
he said that's not what happened. He said he don't know why she came and said that, but he said it has happened with other women. It just never happened with her. And I said, how do you know? Because if you haven't made her feel secure enough or anything, if she's seeing a woman come downstairs, you know, if she is passing somebody, she might assume that that person just left your house based on the story that you have already told her. So it just, because you don't think that, but just because you think you didn't put her in that type of position doesn't mean that it didn't necessarily happen. You know what I'm saying? She probably did pass somebody maybe once or twice on the stairs after you finished with her. You said yourself you was rotating the women. So
yeah, I think it was all a cop out, and I'm tired of the people he goes to. I also think this whole born again Jesus shit, I'm sorry, it's fake and phony, and it's a slap in the face. They're all on code with let's use Jesus and God to absolve ourselves of responsibility by saying we're saved. Like that thing kept happening in the Willie Moore interview where it's like stay on code, don't, you know. Even Willie was saying how he didn't really like Derek because Derek was saying things that he had learned from men when he was growing up. You don't break man code. And because Derek didn't have this experience growing up because he didn't have any man around him that taught him that, he was just telling all of the business. But I'm like, y'all are stupid because Derek is smarter than y'all. Derek is smarter than Willie. Let's be clear. Derek is extremely intelligent and knows exactly what he's doing right now, even down to his posture and the muted tones, but the colors and all of that. Like he's smart down to that level. So trust me, he knew what he was getting in that crazy ass girl. He is not the unknowing victim that he's portraying himself to be. And y'all know I done told y'all already that my homeboy know him, and that's how I know how manipulative he is. Because Derek has been like this. And I think old girl going to school with him was absolutely thinking she was that girl. That's why she always, to this day, she's constantly slut shaming other women. Because I think in her head, she thought that even though he wanted all of those, slutty looking girls, he married me. So that put her on a pedestal. And if y'all recognize, that's what niggas do. Nigga, that's where the pick-me's come from. The pedestalization of y'all willing to, self-sacrifice.
Yeah, you could be a pick-me and still be married or in a relationship. People don't. I just gotta say that because people act like they don't know. It's several.
But those of y'all that go the hardest, y'all really don't be having a man though. Just so we can point that out. Those of y'all that go the hardest, y'all don't have a man.
That's true.
He did say that like as far as like the toxic, first of all, the first thing he said in his interview, not first thing, but one of the things he said was that there was another assault that took place, another RAPE assault that took place. This wasn't the only one that happened to her. But he said he didn't find all of this out until later. But my issue with him is I listened to this just for me. Everybody's different. I just felt like he was continuing to use her situation as an excuse for why she made the relationship toxic. And that's not necessarily true. Some of that came from your actions and how you handled the relationship, which is why you got some of the person that you got, in my opinion. So I just feel like it was like a lot of fallback of, oh, she went through this, she went through that. People understand why I responded the way that I did to the relationship because of her trauma and whatever she went through. He tried to package that nicely, but it didn't work for me. So that's just where I'm at with him. But I'll check out the next part. Anything else on Derek and the foolishness of it all?
I might actually watch it because I'm just interested to hear what come out of his mouth.
Honestly, you should, because the Willie one was some of the the other dude works on my nerves. Some about him irks me, so I can't really watch him for that long. But the Willie one, it was like listening to them tell on themselves. Like if you got your good ears on, they saying everything out of their mouth. It's just the way they're framing it that makes other people like see it a different way. But if you listen to it, you're going to hear all of the red flags. So I think you should just, educational purposes.
Yeah, right. Let me do some research.
Absolutely. All right, y'all. Well, we're about to go ahead and get into some TV talk. So let's go ahead and get these people out of the way. All right. I want to talk about love and marriage Detroit. These is the people that I want to get out the way.
I'm glad you went to them first, because when I said you could be a pick me and still be married, I ain't want to throw no shade, but Christina be giving
Mm,
that sometimes.
Yo,
absolutely.
Christina is a mess. Christina is a mess. Okay, first of all, Brandon apologizes to Kobe. Okay, for his actions or whatever. Kobe said the trust is not there, and I'm with Kobe on that. I appreciate her keeping it honest. Anthony brings up the lies that was told to the publicist. All right. So much so it was all this back and forth. And I was with who was the man? Who was the additional couple that was with them? I can't think of his
Bravo
name.
and his wife
And his wife.
Lakeish. I'm gonna mess up her name. It starts with an L and it got a K somewhere in between. Somebody.
Okay. Well, Bravo, I appreciate him saying just call her. Like we doing all of this and talking because I'm thinking the same thing. Like just give her a call and y'all could clear this mess up. They give the publicist a call. Publicist clears up the story and pretty much calls out, in my opinion, Christina them. Okay, saying that she pretty much lied. She lied on Anthony, whether y'all like like the man or not. You lied on him. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and that bring I believe everything Anthony said, and I can't believe that I'm even saying that, but I believe
Me too.
Anthony. I believe that Brandon did say he don't like her.
Me too.
I feel
Yep.
like Brandon doesn't like any of Christina's friends. I think
Yep.
that he slick hates Christina. I think he
Yep.
wants her to be miserable, so he wants her to feel how he feels, so he don't want her to have nothing and nobody that's gonna make her any piece of happy, in my opinion. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad they got the publicist on the line for her to confirm some stuff, and it was killing me softly to see Brandon sit up there and not want to admit none of the truth, and then want to sit up there and kind of battle it out with Anthony. I was just like, Brandon, you're whack. You ain't your wife.
I agree. And it annoyed me that Bravo, after the fact, was like, I think Brittany lying. I'm like, Bravo, what's going on with
Yes.
you and Brandon? Because you have really have been on his side in a unrealistic manner to me. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
understand what's going on. It's like you got Broco with Brandon, but at the same time, you know he's not gonna get his work done. So you bring in Anthony to do the job because you know Brandon isn't gonna do it. Brandon looks like he's always looking for opportunities to not do his job and blame it on somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of his friends are like protecting him and saving him for some reason. And I think that's exactly what Anthony has been doing this entire show until, you know, you decided to show your ass with him. Um, but I also think that Anthony was trying to sabotage Christina's situation as well. I think Anthony is always doing whatever Brandon really wants him to do.
Oh.
And I think that Brandon wants to sabotage whatever Christina can do business wise. He doesn't, like you say, he doesn't like her. So I think he likes to sabotage her. I
Mm-hmm.
think that he tells Anthony things and then Anthony goes and kind of executes it for him. And so I feel like that's why Anthony told Brittany that Brandon didn't like her, because he was trying to, like, you know, sabotage the relationship between Christina and Brittany, I think,
Mm-hmm.
for Brandon. And I think
Mm.
what Brandon does is Brandon likes to pretend like he's on his wife's side so he can keep her. But at the same time, I think that he is often like not really worried about her. He just wants her to be on his side. He feels like she's the only one that's on his side, but he's not really worrying about her and her feelings. Wearing her face on the shirt
No,
that
no.
day, that
Oh
was
my gosh.
bullshit. That was to make the homeboys mad because you thought that was gonna bother them. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're just small and petty. And again, I can't unsee the Caucasian mother. Like every time he does shit now, like it's like, yeah, it's giving Caucasian mother. Like,
Mm.
I'm sorry, but there's something about you biracial kids who had fucked up, you know, black daddy, white mama thing. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
So it sounds like both of them was fucked up, basically. He don't have a relationship with either one of them, right?
Oh,
No.
wow, he
Yep.
doesn't?
Yeah.
No,
Right.
both of them. He said he have issues with his mom and his dad. He don't have a relationship with neither one of them. The mama raised him, from what I could hear him saying,
Oh,
because
okay, I didn't know
they
that.
said it was his mom that did not tell him what to do, that didn't give him any discipline, just kind of let him
Mm.
do whatever he wanted to do, which sounds about right, especially our age group. Our age group knows that the white moms let their kids run reckless. Like, you know, it may not be all of them. When I was growing up, the white kids I was around, it definitely used to be like, you know, they let their kids do whatever they want to do in comparison to the black kids, you know, whose parents were like, no, you can't do all of this because, you know, white
You
people
gotta
not gonna get
represent the black community.
yeah, white people gonna white people gonna see you as an issue, girl.
I wanted to backtrack and speak on Kobe though.
Yeah.
What I did not like was whenever Brandon apologized to her, which was some bullshit, she really flipped the script and was like, our relationship will never be the same. As if she didn't come to their anniversary picnic with spilling tea. He should have told his wife, don't get me wrong, but two wrongs don't give you the power to decide when y'all's relationship is going to get back right. So I'm just like, girl, get away from me with that. Anthony, I think that's a good point that you brought up, Bondy, about him basically doing all the dirty work for Brandon, trying to sabotage the relationship with the publicist. But I also think it was a power move. I'm not sure like what the timing of them getting into an argument was, but Anthony and LaToya, they're like the only ones who I see saying our publicist, my publicist, she works for us, our family. So I think he wanted to just pull a power move like, nah, I get to decide if my publicist can work with you or not. And that's what that was about.
Interesting. Brandon seems to be a bit upset with how the showcase is going because Anthony is including Lyric in on the showcase, and because Lyric has been quote unquote stealing clients or whatever. Some part of me feel like Brandon never had them clients secured anyway. But anyway, he doesn't want Lyric.
You muted, Bondy.
Yeah, shit. Jamie, read Sammy's comment. It's so funny that you started talking about Lyric, and that comment is about him.
This one here, the one guy that Brandon has beef with, seemed like he wanted to holler at Christina, and Brandon got with her to block that dude.
I don't know if it was about the block, but I did get a little bit of her interview with Anthony Lofties, and she said that she was working with Lyric, and he, you know, was supposed to be going to see some big music exec to see about getting her a deal. And she was supposed to meet him out there once he gotten out there. And so she calls him and he's like, you know, oh, so when you come out here, we're going to be together, right? Which made her be like, oh, we on that type of time, which I believe because that's how niggas do in the music industry. And she was like, nah, I'm straight off that. She says that she never wanted to fuck with him, but he was always on her. But I also feel like I can't really trust anything that Christina says because she so often lies to protect Brandon's image. If Brandon had done something like that, I don't think she would see it that way or even express it in an honest way for us to know that that's what happened. But it would make sense that he.
I wonder if it's that bulldog she talking about. Remember, she said, I need that pit bull, that bulldog.
Yeah, she did say that
would
about
be
him.
pit bull, bulldog behavior to come snatch her up from another dude.
Oh,
that's probably why he really don't want him around.
Ooh,
because
he was real nervous.
He might have some type of attraction towards him, but he's trying to play it up to be like, oh, he's been taking my clients and I don't want him around. And it also could be that I snatched her up. I think that's what Bondy was saying. I snatched her up before, or was it Necey? I snatched her up before you could get to her or something, or maybe it was the comment. But anyway, maybe that's still valid. You know, I mean, maybe he did snatch her up and she still has like an interest in him. Their relationship ain't so good. But I mean, do y'all think he should not be allowed to be a part of the showcase though?
No, I think that Brandon, like, be a fucking adult. This is business. Worry about your artist and doing what you have to do. Why are you worrying about some nigga in the room? Like, they're gonna be a whole bunch of niggas in the room that might well fuck your wife. So what?
Right. I think he felt like he was losing control over everything and wanted to say something in hopes of that going his way because he's starting to see that he being iced out in so many ways.
And please understand that they don't want to be iced out from this group. That's what I
they think they lead it.
Episode.
Come on, Necey. Why they think they would?
They think they lead it. But this, I'm telling you, we seeing a power struggle between Anthony and Brandon all the way on the show.
Which is crazy because you was definitely being that man mouthpiece. So I'm wondering if something happened behind the scenes that got Anthony really mad at Brandon as to why Anthony is now going after him. Because I do think that he invited Lyric to piss Brandon off.
Yeah.
I do think that. I think he was. I do. I think he's taking over the showcase too in order to make, maybe it's like single black, male or married black male.
It could be married
black male. But I also feel like Brandon is manipulative, and I think Brandon has emotionally used Anthony. And I think that when you play with people whose emotions may be a little fragile because of how they are, I think that it can cause this type of reaction out of them if they find out you've betrayed them. And honestly, I feel like the first red flag was when we found out that Anthony did not know about the artist and in the cheating. No, not the artist, the cheating. Anthony didn't know about Brandon being outside of his relationship. And I was like, why would you keep that from him? Russell probably knew about that. Why didn't you tell Anthony that? And I'm like, because you know Anthony's in love with you and you like to manipulate him. I'm sorry, but it's giving Burglar. I don't know if y'all have ever seen the movie Burglar with Whoopi Goldberg, but the nigga was going around killing people, and he was killing people because he was in love with this dude. This dude was a hoe. He was fucking everybody. He was using the gay guy. He was using women. He was just using everybody and fucking everybody. Okay, and the guy was in love with him, and it was his friend, and he ended up betraying him and sleeping with his ex-wife, and the guy
damn, I'm
him.
gonna have to watch that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's one of Whoopi's best ones, y'all. Y'all gotta watch Burglar, because what happens is his ex-wife, who's a dentist, asked Whoopi to go and steal these diamonds and all this jewelry that he stole from her during their divorce. So when Whoopi goes in there to get the jewelry, he comes in fucking some woman, which turns out, you know, to be the wife or whatever. It's an old movie, y'all, so I'm killing it for y'all. I'm sorry if y'all haven't watched it, but it's still really good, so you should watch it. But either way, so he gets murdered by another person while she's hiding in the closet, waiting for, you know, the moment to get out. And so she then has to prove that it wasn't her that murdered him, because of course the ex-wife puts her on blast, like, oh, I hide, because she was fucking him. So she was, you know, one of the suspects. So in order to get herself out the hot seat, she was like, look, I asked this lady to go, you know, I told her. She didn't say I asked her. She was like, I told her about the diamonds and she might have went and tried to steal them. So she threw Whoopi out there to protect herself. So now the cops are trying to get to Whoopi. So now Whoopi has to try to figure out who really killed the man so she can get herself off the hook. Because she just came out of prison. She's a burglar. She just got out of jail. So yeah, y'all should watch it. It's a really good one. I might have to go watch that one.
Look that up.
Yeah, I wonder what they got it playing on. Amazon, maybe.
It's probably on Prime.
Yeah, that sounds like that'll be a good ass remake. I ain't really been into the remakes, but that sounds like that would be a good ass remake, honey. Maybe have Erykah Badu play Whoopi, but
she not athletic enough.
Damn.
Whoopi was on a motorcycle and wearing leather jackets and shit, and it, like, you know, with her gray contacts and everything, bitch. It was the gray contacts for me. What? She was killing. She was killing the whole movie with gray contacts and something that looked like a teardrop under her eye. I think it might have been a mole, but it looked like a teardrop. Girl,
she looks so young.
I want to know more of Whoopi's story. I know this is so off subject, but I'm like, how did you get into the industry? What were you doing? Like, I want to know her. I feel like Whoopi's the only. We ain't got no documentary on Whoopi.
We don't.
She done
That's
already.
One worth
Did
having.
she already put something into place saying that can't nobody make nothing about her if she, when she passed away, or either it was like
what? I wonder.
She did something like that, or I don't know if it was a hologram she said you can't make, or if she just said you can't do a biopic after she passed.
I feel like it was a biopic, or maybe it was I feel like it was a biopic. I really think I heard that. I feel like she could have said that on her show.
Mm-hmm.
I think smart. I heard that. I don't like that though.
Because you know, Lifetime do it before your body even get cold.
Right.
Hello.
For real.
Okay.
Y'all better leave Whoopi alone.
I
like
want her family to do it. At least give me a docuseries. Like, I want to know more about her. I feel like she's one person we don't know a lot about.
When y'all look her up though, to look for she has a set of movies that came out in like the late 80s, early 90s. Because I see people talking about Fatal Beauty. Fatal Beauty, she was like a cop. And she was like a tortured cop. That was a real good one. And then Jumpin' Jack Flash. She was like a computer processor that found out some shit. Like, it was a few of them that were really, really good back in the day. And she would just be coming out with them during that time. Like, she really was like the only Black woman that had that type of pull, I think, at the time, to be doing her own movies and shit. Like,
that's why I'm like, was she producing them? Because if she was like assisting and producing her own films, what was she really like? I got to get Whoopi's story. Yeah. I need that. I need that. Her real name is Karen Johnson.
Yes, Karen Johnson. Girl, I remembered it because that's the most basic ass name, but basic black lady name. But y'all, I looked at the Superdome for Beyonce.
Yeah,
and it looked like, okay, so if this is the stage, we're in this area, like 141
on the side.
Over to the left.
I think
that's where I'm gonna be.
I think that's a good side too. I think that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I had to tell y'all because we were talking about it earlier, and I need to get it off here now so I can Google Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah, I think that's good. I mean, really, 100 section is really good.
Movies until 1998.
1998.
Yeah, the first one was A Night in Camelot.
Well, who the hell did she connect
And then
with?
How Stella Got Her Groove Back and a bunch of them, which she didn't star in.
I feel like a lot of her stuff is being left off.
For real. Clara's Heart was good. I remember that one. Oh.
I need that, Whoopi, please.
And Serafina was my shit. Like, I don't know if everybody else was on Serafina like that, but oh my God, the Page Master. Do y'all remember the Page Master?
Remind me, no.
It was him in a library and he turned into a book, and it was like one of those movies that flipped from real life to a cartoon. It was Christopher Lloyd, and Whoopi, Macaulay Culkin, and I feel like you had to see
Macaulay.
And I loved it because it was like, books. It was all about stories and books and all of that type of stuff. And I was one of those kids. So y'all gotta see the Page Master, the Page Master, if y'all haven't, because that one was good too.
Dang, this lady was getting book. Karina, I do remember that one.
Corina. You love your soul.
What was that girl? Damn. Mm-hmm. All right. Real. Anything else on Love and Marriage DC? I mean, Detroit, because we done got it. I don't even know how we got into Whoopi.
Oh, because I was telling y'all about Burglar. And I was telling y'all how the white guy killed, the guy he was in love with because he was like, because he never gave a fuck about anybody. And I was just kind of like, that's exactly Anthony. How Brandon, that's how Brandon and Anthony's relationship kind of feels.
What do y'all think about the season so far? Do y'all think that it's season 2 worthy?
I mean, I would watch a second season, but if it went away, I wouldn't care. I will say that I think I like this better than Love and Marriage Detroit.
DC.
You mean DC?
Oh, DC, yeah, DC.
Child, they say they got some mess going on with DC right now. Okay, I saw Ashley and Winter both said like they cut it to make her look like the villain and totally kind of edited out. Too. Yeah, edited out the shit that Arena and them are doing.
Ooh. Did you see Ashley said it was a Tubi production? I felt like she was shading Carlos.
Oh.
She gonna shade herself out of a spot. That's why she over there mingling with the housewives.
I was thinking the same thing. She said, "What kind of Tubi production is this?" I said, "Not Tubi."
Yeah, she been on some fuck them shit for a minute. Ever since the show, like I think when they put that fight out like that, I think that fight that happened with her and Joy. Ever since then, she been on they top, like she been on their neck. And honestly, I'm not mad at her because to be honest, I think that Carlos really doesn't do the best job with his shows. I think that Love and Marriage Huntsville was a one-off because Mel was honest enough to tell y'all what the fuck was going on in her life. That was really the that was the extent of it, because all of these other shows, to me, that's why they're not doing that good, because you got people who don't want to be honest. And I do feel like Carlos has a habit of protecting people on the show from their true tea being spilled because he wants to be friends with everybody. Like, I don't know why he's taking that approach. But I feel like it's kind of failing him because the people it's not like these people on the show don't have tea. They just not spilling it, and you're not putting them in a situation to make them spill it either.
Right. Respectable reality that
lies
doesn't exist.
Lies is what we want to call it.
Right. Anything else? We good on Detroit?
Yep,
we good.
Woo. Well, we gotta talk about the whole collective. The whole collective, girl. Let me not do them like that. We gotta talk about Bell Collective. It's giving the whole collective. But let's get into this. All right. Letitia got a new book. Side Chicks Are Winning, or whatever it's called.
Girl, Glenn rotted that lady brain. Glendon rotted that lady brain. Like, that's really what it is. She trying to reach to be a winner, and it's so sad. Ugh.
I can't take it. This is the only thing I'm gonna give Tisha, y'all. I think it's good that she's figuring out ways to maximize this platform, and she's actually showing us what the enterprise does. But as far as side chick, this book, I don't know how you're gonna go on and encourage and empower other people when Yosh is still fucked up. That doesn't make sense. And then I think I was listening to Erica De Niro. She was kind of like breaking down, like, I guess, the description of the book, and it really was giving her blaming the women.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah, that's what it kind of seemed like. Tisha was kind of like slick blaming the women for why the men do what they do. And I'm just like, it's exactly what I figured the book would be about. And no,
All I'm
ma'am.
getting from Tisha is, I feel like ever since Glenn Grandma popped up on TV sick, ever since then, that relationship has just been, you know, she can give advice. She can speak on how to overcome situations. It's like, girl, we ain't even seen y'all come full circle from the mess you showed us the previous season.
This is a fact. This is very much so a fact. And that's the only reason why she is talking about it, because they seem to be at a decent place, as I expected after that situation happened with the grandma. It was definitely giving, he about to pull you back in. You're going to feel sorry for him. Y'all about to go back through this same old cycle. And now that y'all are kind of on the up or whatever y'all own, you feel confident to move forward with your business and talk all this bullshit and stuff. But, you know, girl, yeah. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Megan. She says Burglar is free on YouTube with ads.
Okay.
Perfect,
Didn't know that.
I ain't want to pay $3.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Megan. Thanks for the super chat. Tambra.
Oh, perfect, because I don't have ads.
Me neither. Shout out. I'm with you on that.
Oh, okay.
Tambra, what's going on with your voice? I'm tired of you kind of like
going on?
I like the high pitched timbre voice. I never thought I would say that, but what you giving us on the radio?
What's going on?
She dug deep for that, and I
all
was
the
like,
way in the back of my throat.
This don't sound like you. How did y'all feel about Tisha coming up there using that lady? You could sit up there and meet up with people behind her back, but now you want to use her?
Doing what she always do, forcing herself on everybody with smiles and fake niceties.
Yeah, that's exactly how she got into the middle of this cast photo, honestly. And that's a gift. It's a gift to be able to. It's just kind of weird because, like, she get along with everybody, but I'd never say she was like giving that girl energy, you know. So it's a talent.
I definitely agree.
Honestly, none of them are that girl.
No, none of them. None of them. But if anybody, yeah, none of them. I could see Latrice almost giving that if she got along with everybody, but she could never be the nucleus of the group.
And she got her Cliff situation. You can't be the nucleus of the group if you ain't got no fucking confidence, because you over there fighting for your equality at your house.
Ugh.
Girl, the women already
equality.
Girl, because I want him to respect me and as an equal. It's like, girl, no. First of all, the fact that you want to be an equal is a problem. You should want to be treated
1952.
better. Yeah, you should be. Girl, listen, I'm Blanche Devereaux. I don't want to be equal. I want to be treated better than you.
Yikes. Speaking of Latrice, she had this I guess this surprise launch announcement or whatever. How did y'all feel about Gucci saying that she only going to upstage her?
I clocked it because she a hater ass bitch, and to me, that should let y'all know that she's been jealous of Selena this whole time. Because any woman that's going to see about another woman just so she can one up her, you're a jealous hearted, you know what I'm saying, like envious type person, as far as I'm concerned. So it would make sense to me that the root of your issue with Selena would come from your jealousy, like I think it is.
What happened on that part? Can you highlight it?
Yeah, so all that happened was Latrice, you know, she has her distribution deal with her Edge control. So she called all the ladies to come together, and she just wanted to make that announcement like, hey y'all, I got something big. I'm going to be distributed in a lot of different stores, which I believe is Ulta. In the confessional was when Gucci said, of course I'm going to go to Latrice's event because I got to make sure I upstage her or something like that, she said.
Okay. Yeah, it's giving real lame. It's giving you call yourself so Gucci. I can't deal.
As we
Yeah, she
said
a
from the
hater.
beginning.
She a big hater, and it's on brand. I hate it for her.
Yeah, I agree. Cause I was like, Gucci, first of all, y'all are in different age brackets. I need you to understand that first and foremost.
Right?
Y'all are in two different type of career fields. I need you to understand that as well. Um, Also a difference. This lady ain't no mama. You're a mom. Like y'all are just not on the same. Y'all not in the same arena with a lot of things. And what pisses me off so much with Gucci, and it's like she has her nice things about her, but it's the drag of wanting to have an issue with Latrice because Selena beat your ass. Like that's what's killing me softly
She
so
keeps talking about
hard.
it.
And
She
y'all
keeps
have
saying
had
it.
right. And they had like what three conversations already where
Yes.
y'all resolved it, but you keep doing this extra stuff. I hope that Latrice drags you at the
She's a
reunion.
grandma.
Yeah, I
Latrice isn't
think
even a mom yet. She's a grandma. So
Right.
hilarious.
she sees Latrice as an easier target to get it into. Like Latrice is somebody she can argue with, and Latrice probably ain't gonna beat her ass. So she has to be mad at somebody for the situation that she put herself in. So that's just what she doing.
How did y'all feel about her daughter coming? She's starting to bring her daughter places. It's giving. I need a bodyguard for me. That's just how I took it.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's not even just about that. She y'all know I feel like she using her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And she don't have
I
no
agree.
like it's not like a genuine care for her. It's just you're using her. And I think you don't have any friends because you're an asshole. And so now you got to use your daughter, and you know that she wants a relationship with you. So you're going to use your daughter as security. And honestly, you need
Mm-hmm.
your ass beat for that.
Mm.
Yeah, when they had that sit down at the ice cream parlor, the episode before last, it was putting a battery in her daughter's bag. Like, you gonna
Mm.
ride for me, right?
Scotty said
Right.
Latrice got hands. Child, like it matter. It don't matter.
Yeah,
She
but
ain't gonna fight
Latrice don't.
nobody.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Latrice seemed like she will fight if she
Mm-hmm.
need to, but I don't think in a situation her and So Gucci, she gonna throw hands first, and So Gucci not gonna throw hands first, so they just gonna be arguing, and So Gucci know that.
Hmm. And also,
Mm.
what she's picking up on is not that Latrice won't fight, is that Latrice is being abused. And when you being abused, you are afraid of confrontation because so often confrontations blow up in a way that you can't control, or where you're getting, you the one getting slapped or grabbed or manhandled in some respect. So I think that a lot of the times when I've seen her get into conflict, she does a very nervous thing. She'll keep playing with her hair,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
remember
like
whenever Essie confronted her in the first season or second season, and she was
Mm-hmm.
nervous. Like she gets
yes,
nervous when it comes to that.
yes.
And usually when somebody get nervous, it go two ways. They about to cry or they gonna cry, then they gonna beat your ass. Like,
That used to happen
yeah.
to
Yeah.
me.
And
I'm a blackout cry. Like,
I think to Scotty's point, Latrice definitely, in my opinion, may have had those hands when she was younger.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
But kind of to Bondy's point, now that she's in this relationship with Cliff, it definitely affects how she responds to situations and all of
mhm.
that. So yeah, she's definitely not going to fight. She's going to tense up before she, reacts, in any other manner. So I definitely agree with that. Let's talk about this brunch though. First of all, these people didn't pay. They showed up for the television show. But did y'all think Latrice said anything wrong about the 9 to 5? Because I really didn't.
I didn't.
I just think it was sloppy the way she presented it. You got to
Mm,
know who your audience is, and she was given that she was a little drunk. I just think she could have presented it in a better way because ultimately the people that were there want entrepreneurship. So did she lie? No.
No,
But was it professional when she came across?
not
No.
really. But
It
it's
was
mm,
low key
also
insulting. It was given like when B Simone said I could never date a guy who
work a 9 to 5. Hmm.
yeah, it was given and people was mad about that. It's what I
mm,
thought about.
The only thing about that is that the whole, when you listen to the whole conversation, because they put up an unedited version online,
mhm,
and when you listen to the whole conversation, that's what they were talking about. Like, having that 9 to 5, and how do you do the 9 to 5 and have your entrepreneurship? How do you have your dream or whatever? So I think that she is not polished. And that really is more of a testament to the fact that Letitia is not good at what she says that she's good at. Because if you were, I mean, that's one of the first things you should have been teaching her was how to speak to an audience. And I feel like you didn't really help her do anything that would make her better at public speaking. She was doing what she already does in her confessionals, getting up there and talking and moving her head around a lot. And that's just Latrice. That's cool. But to act like you were helping her with her public speech and to have her have to drink to get comfortable and then just busting out, let's just be honest. Nobody wants the fucking 9 to 5, And I think the response in the room, nobody really felt away because I think most of those women don't want to work a 9 to 5. That's why they're
that's
there.
what they're there for.
So that's So that's the niche group she's talking to. I actually don't think she was as offensive as the other lady was talking about. Do y'all even have $400,000 houses down here? I'm like, bitch, it's 2023. Of course they do.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. When Latrice was talking, I was like, but when she said, y'all even got that down here, my mouth dropped. That was completely wild.
That is too funny. The part for me that I felt was the most disrespectful, more than what Latrice said about a 9 to 5, was Letitia calling So Gucci from the audience to come and correct one of her panelists. I feel like that was very disrespectful. I feel like that was very embarrassing in my personal opinion. If you already know that Gucci is in real estate and you're going to have somebody in residential construction, why not have Gucci on the panel since she's a belle so that people can see how they work together? But also it lets me know you don't know what the fuck you really doing. And I just don't think that's what you do. And here's the thing. Maybe Gucci could have cleared some things up from her seat. You called this woman from her seat to come to the front, and now you have the audacity to address Latrice on how she brought up a 9 to 5 conversation. In my personal opinion, I hate to say this, everybody on the panel was flawed, except for what Marie had to say initially. I agree with what Marie said. But the lady sitting on the end near Latrice talking about take 30% of your check and just invest it. And just, do something, invest in anything or type, like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, people ain't got money like that. It's getting ate up because everything is going up. Who got 30% to spare? What the hell is you talking about? Like, it was very weird. She could have, Letitia don't know what she's doing. Like, that's just what it is. Like, girl, if you thought this was going to be a good example for me to want to buy tickets to come to your stuff, absolutely not. It's not going to happen. You don't know how to put a panel together, in my opinion. But it was what it was. I mean, I think the episode was decent for the most part. Was there anything else that you guys had regarding Bell Collective? Anything else happened on the show?
Tamra possibly being pregnant for Damon.
Oh yes, yes. I like them together, I will say. And
you think they really together?
Sense. Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Let me tell you why. When she sat up there and said that her parents has been together for like 40 plus years, her grandparents have been together for 40 plus years, I was like, it now makes sense as to why she went back to the person she was with in high school and for 10 years. Because when she has her child, she wants to she may not be married as long as her parents were, but she's been with that person as long. And she wants to be able to carry that narrative too, because she idolized that family, so their relationship so much. She want to be able to say, oh, me and your dad have been together for 30 years, yada 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 yada. That's why I think she went back to what was familiar with her. But I will give Greedy this, because I do appreciate it, because and y'all let me know y'all thoughts. But I like the fact that instead of her having to go out and spend additional money to go and get her a woman cave, he started to renovate and make room for her in his house so that she wouldn't have to go out and do that. And I was like, I can appreciate that. I see the potential here. I hope that y'all can make this work. What you thinking?
I don't appreciate it. I don't, because I feel like it's his house and they're not married. So him doing construction on his house is him doing construction on his house. And I feel like you wanted to be married and now you didn't had a baby and we haven't heard about y'all getting married. So you bending on everything that you wanted before you gave him the baby. And I just think that's not a good sign that you have acquiesced on all of your boundaries to be with this man.
Damn.
That's a great point. That's a great point.
It ain't nobody equity but his.
Nobody but his. And that's something else I did think about. But yeah, he doing all of this rearranging, but has yet to propose to her.
Yeah, he could have
And
been
she
them brought a
continuing to
ring.
take that goalpost and move it over here.
And just
Take
think
it
about
and move
how
it over
that's
here.
going. And he's now learned that all I have to do is throw some money on a situation, and you're gonna forget about whatever you really wanted. So when his baby come, like, well, you know, they saying that the baby came already. Like, I would just, I mean, I'm sure Tambra has it in her mind already to be prepared
Wow.
to raise the baby on her own if she has to. But something tells me she's going to try hella high water to stick beside him, and he knows that. So I think he won't really have to give her anything that she's really wanted, because she's gonna have to keep acquiescing to him, especially now that she has a kid.
Especially with the baby.
I
Yeah.
am hoping though. I did say I was like, dang, I know the reunion's coming up. I'm hoping that he at least proposed by then. I'm hoping, honestly, that she's been engaged this whole time and we just don't know. Because if y'all pay attention, Tambra don't tell them shit.
She
Tambra
don't
really
post
do
shit
not fuck with
either.
the bells like that for real, you know. So I mean, she probably could have a lot going on with her, and we don't know nothing about it. So I'm hoping that's what it is. If not, girl, it's cringing. But I hope you at least are engaged and headed to marriage now that you got this lifelong connector, which
Yeah.
is
They
the
saying
baby.
he might marry her for real. I hope so.
I hope so.
I hope
I
so.
hope
But
Ain't
why
no
so
you
going
this
too.
back
old?
now.
Why you this old waiting this long? That's all. Like, y'all are y'all
That
40s. Like,
that does make sense, Jamie, to what you said though, because I feel like honestly, at her age, if she would have just released everything that was holding her back, she probably would have found somebody to actually marry her and have the family that she wanted to have sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But it's given the only reason why she ain't experienced that is because she probably still been holding on to him. So
I could see that, and her wanting to be super successful in her field. Remember when she came on the first season, she wanted to be Oprah and all of this and that. That's why she kept also putting it off. But because they, like you said, they had such like a long history together, I could see every relationship after him. She did a lot of comparing,
yes. Oh,
which
I
could
love
have.
this comment by here for the real tea. Plus greedy over here talking about she can't be tired because all she does is talk, and he wants her to fix him breakfast when he leaves for work at 4 a.m. He sounded like the other country bumpkin men.
Oh, I
And
missed
she didn't.
that.
Yeah, I remember that. That
4
was like
a.m.
that was the only scene they had together besides this date, this past episode. The very first one was where she had all her shit thrown around his place purposefully, if you ask me, and talking about how she wanted to get her woman cave and she's going to go and get her own place. And he started complaining about how, you know, you were supposed to be doing this and that, you know, like when, you know, you're not even
Oh
here, you be
no.
working. And she was like, well, I work and I'm tired, you know what I'm saying? And he was just kind of like, all you do is sit. And I was just kind of like, not all you do is sit.
I don't like that.
Cause she complained. It happened like the first or second episode. Cause she complained about it to the other
Mm-hmm.
guy.
To the other, yep.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, nah, he gonna have to get that together, you know, because it's important for, you know, him to know my business and my career. It's important to me, you know. And it's like, okay, Tambra, but she just talking out both sides of her neck. So if Tambra doesn't really want marriage, I wish she would have said that. We
Yeah,
wouldn't
true.
care. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
But
sure.
it just kind of seemed like everything you wanted, you are acquiescing on, and that make more sense
Boldness.
to me than you not really wanting to be married, being a Mississippi girl. Like,
Right. And the way you idolize the marriages that's come before you. So yeah, but I
yeah.
mean, we're gonna see Tam. We hope it work out for you, girl. Good luck. We hope, at least I hope. I hope the reunion come around and we done heard some good news about your child. I think she'll share it with Carlos before she share it with any of these bells. But anything else on Bell Collective that happened? Nothing that I could think of. Cliff didn't do that girl shop because he and his damn feelings, but he'll be all right. Girl, I would have hired somebody. I wouldn't even have my brother do it. Just hire somebody and
She
let
not
them do
gonna
it
do that.
faster.
She not gonna do that because she wants to be able to slide Cliff back into that role whenever he decides to stop being mean to her. But I do want to understand what forced you out of the house. Because this is, you know,
Yeah.
she said they not, she's like, you know, I went to I'm staying with my brother, you know, because I just need to have peace of mind. It's like you moved into another bedroom and now you didn't move into a whole nother house, but you're gonna keep acting like you want to be with this man, but
And
you go to
acting
them
like
streets
she
and
gonna be
shit.
back
I
to
think
teach him a lesson.
Cliff put her out the house.
High key.
I really
makes
think
sense.
Cliff put her ass out the house.
You do?
Mhm.
Why y'all? Because
I
because
just
she's
feel
talking
like,
about him on the show. Honestly,
yeah.
all of the women are talking about it, and he's gonna hold her accountable because the women are talking about what they've seen him do.
Well, I
Yes.
actually think it came from her not wanting to actually listen to him, and it gives a parent saying, "You don't want to listen, you can get out my house."
Yes.
So that's
Jamie, you hit
what
that on the head.
That's
I think
yeah,
happened.
yeah.
Mhm.
Did he leave her at the table last year after planning her birthday thing and just left her ass there and rode the cart back to the house?
He
Yeah,
did.
he
He
That's
left
the
her.
type
did.
of, he likes to
Punishing.
humiliate her. Thank
Yes.
you. Yeah, that's what I think happened.
Yeah, that
I
makes
do.
sense. That
Mhm.
makes sense.
I hate that. I want her to grow up after this season. I hope she learns a lot to
I thought
want
you
to
was gonna
like.
say grow up and be, and I was laughing because she is a whole adult right now. but
Right.
but it's giving. I want her to grow up and be strong.
You
You is
know,
special. You is
you is
smart.
Look
smart.
inside
You is
yourself and
important.
be strong. And
Mhm.
Girl.
then you'll see the truth. What is it that a hero lies in you? Come on, Mariah. Um, that's what I want her to realize. But that
I
was it
hope
on Bell.
you dance. I'm sorry. I hope you
Who that is?
dance.
Celine Dion.
Girl, I just remember it from that damn Tyler Perry movie, okay?
Which
I hope
one?
Oh,
you
was it the family that
dance.
prays?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
okay. I was about to say that sounds like a song they play when somebody died,
I
but
don't know if
Well,
that's
she
that's what
did
Dolly
die.
happened.
Parton
Yeah.
or if that's Celine Dion. I don't know who it is.
I don't think it was Celine Dion in that song, okay? Because it had that country twang to it.
Maybe it was Dolly Parton then.
Faith, a fighting chance. And if you get a choice to sit it out
That's
or
Dolly.
dance, I
Leanne
hope you
Womack.
dance.
I don't
Leanne
know who
Rhyme.
that is.
Y'all,
Leanne
they all
Womack.
probably sung it.
I
It's
see
been so
Rhyme.
many remakes.
Oh, you see Leanne Ryan. Okay, I see Womack.
Okay. It might
Yeah,
be
I see
Leanne.
Leanne Womack.
Okay, I see Leanne Womack now. Yeah. Damn, it might be Leanne Womack or Leanne Rhyme, child.
Mm.
I think it might be a country standard at this point if y'all saying
I think
Reba.
so. I think so.
It's a country standard, like a jazz standard. Okay.
Well, let's get to the people that ain't got no standards, okay?
Please.
Let's get into Love and Hip Hop Atlanta because they have
Da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum.
been Atlanta-ing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start off with Scrappy and Erica in the boutique. First of all, I just have to say I didn't even know this lady had a boutique. Shout out to her. I'm gonna give you that one. Um, Scrappy says he feels like he's a failure because Bambi is divorcing him and she thinks he cheated. He says he didn't, but he does admit to entertaining other women and he understands if that is considered cheating. Again, every time I see them interact, I can't help but question Erica because I'm like, why you keep talking to the fucking ops? Like, this is what is bothering me.
Because she's still fucking him.
Like, what is that?
That's what it's getting.
I hate it whenever he said to Erica he ultimately left Bambi because what it came down to was the way she treated people around him. Almost like you was trying to make Erica think that you left her because Bambi and her wasn't getting along. Like, come on. It was giving pick me.
Well, Erica said that, everything that was going on between her and Scrappy that whole time was Bambi's fault. I was like, that sound right in your head? That sound like that makes sense in your head when you
That's what
say
I'm
that?
saying. I say you cannot I mean, it's okay to not like Bam, but you can't sit up here and actively think that made sense. Like, no, she is not the cause. And it was proven by the end of the episode because I said that man talks shit about her to you and then turns around and talks shit about you to her. Why are y'all not seeing this? He is his mama's child. Like,
which is why Bambi was recording conversations. And I remember back when it came out, I was like, I'm not mad at her because I can already tell that nigga over there lying. So she gotta get recordings of shit because y'all really trying to make her look like she mistreated that girl's daughter. And I feel like, that's fucked up. Like that's a harsh thing to put on somebody. They mistreated a kid. Like, no, nobody forgives you for mistreating a kid. I think if anything, Bambi is one of those go along to get along ass bitches. Like, she not really gonna stand up for what's right like that. If she care about the person that's doing what's wrong, she just kind of gonna sit there and be quiet and let them do whatever it is they want to do. And I think that bit her in her ass because now they blaming her for that police report shit, talking about that was really Bambi. Nigga, what?
That's the thing that I want to highlight when you
How?
talk about the recorded call. The thing I need to be highlighted is Scrappy saying in the call that that's what he believes, right? Basically, what this man said on this call, Erica, are you listening? He believes what his daughter told him about whatever abuse, okay? And I'm trying to get you to understand why you over here lollygagging, hanging out in Puerto Rico and spending time with this man.
Popping
This
pussy.
man is saying something completely different to Bambi, but just last week he was sitting over here like, I don't even know why they bringing that up. That's this, da, 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 or whatever. But then you get on the phone, and when it's time to talk about it, you over there telling Bam that you agree. It's not making sense. He's an ultimate op, and this your baby daddy. You have no allegiance to this man for real, especially now that your daughter is 18. Y'all could be cool, cordial, whatever, but y'all ain't got to talk to each other. Like,
Right.
I can't take it. It's irritating.
And
They
yes,
want to make
thank
her
you.
little kid so bad.
Look, Relly just said E-Money gave a statement. Why does people keep skipping over that? And that's was you saying about making her a kid. Like E-Money, 18 years old, she gave a statement saying that her mama put her hands on her. So why are we continuing to act like this can somehow be Bambi's fault? I don't get it. And I feel like, like I hate to say it, but like when we talk about this specific topic, y'all, it really annoys me the way people keep trying to make it seem like I just think everybody's to blame. And it's like, yeah, but only one person is being accused of really mistreating a child by people who are lying on her. Like I don't know. Like I'm not really, I'm kind of mad at Bambi right now because of the shit between Erica and Sierra. So please don't get me wrong. But in this specific situation, I don't see how y'all feel like Bam is equal in this whole plot to say that she mistreated E-Money and all of that. Like, which is obviously what they were setting up to do.
And Scrappy is the direct correlation between all the relationships. Like, let's be for real.
Correct. I have to, yeah. Absolutely. Safari, real quick. Let's jump from F boy to F boy. Safari is fucking on Amara. We're not surprised, but I'm a bit surprised that Chaotic told all the tea. If y'all want y'all business out there to America,
tell Chaotic.
Please tell him.
He
tell
is
him
messy
right now.
as fuck.
He said they was having sex before. She told me 2 weeks ago. I was like, damn, not you telling on this lady's cooch.
I mean, he the one that told that diamond tea, like Mama D said it, but he the one that brought that shit around the whole group, and he's still skating on that, y'all. They still to this day making it seem like Bambi was the one that said that Diamond was pregnant. I'm so confused.
What? That girl didn't know nothing about it. So how did she tell?
That's what he said. Remember when they got into it, he was like, Bambi telling her homegirl shit. And that's why Erica got in her face. Yeah. And Erica got in his face and was like, Bambi, what about your mom? And he was like, what about your son?
Yeah.
And that's, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm like, yeah, people weren't really listening to that argument. Y'all was just seeing them getting in each other's face. But if y'all was listening, he was gaslighting the whole time. He was gaslighting the whole fucking time. But these motherfuckers, I'm sorry. Safari. Safari is the pass around. And I don't know why Amara wants to get in her feelings, but I do feel like she may not even really be in her feelings like that, but it looked like that because she bringing him on the show, but it would be counterproductive to not bring it up on the show. What else you got going on?
So wait, you because I don't watch Miami. So Safari is back on Miami with Amara?
Yes, the next episode, girl. I'm mad you ain't see it.
They was just saying he's the only person who's been on how many franchises
all
at
of
this
them.
point?
New York,
all of them, really?
New York, Hollywood, Atlanta, and Miami. And on this episode, he literally leaves from this to it's a continuation. It was like a 2-hour long episode of Love and Hip Hop, bitch, from coast to coast.
Ain't that something? I was thinking to myself that Amara probably just wants the dick. She probably ain't trying to be on him like that. But is she? I guess so.
I think she is.
Girl, they had a whole scene together and it was like all spicy and steamy and they were making out and she was like, oh my God, you're making me so hot. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Oh
were fully in steamy
wow.
telenovela on Love and Hip Hop Miami. Y'all have to go watch it. It was
I mean, well, I guess
hilarious.
that must got a gold tip because the way Erica be over there
Girl,
shaking and shivering for it,
losing weight.
stressed out.
Ooh, losing weight, say that. But the
Okay.
fact that he bought her kids rollies, I would literally want to wring his neck if I was Erica. Just based off the pure fact that I'm seeing money that you could have gave her and the kids you actually have.
But he's doing
Truth.
that on purpose to piss her off because honestly, he wasn't even dressed right for that party. But that was their coming out party, Amara's baby's party. That's what happened on this episode, this first episode of Love and Hip Hop Miami. And that was their coming out party. And she didn't even know if he was gonna fucking show up. And then he shows up with them big ass fucking Rolexes for them little bitty babies' wrist and shit. And she said that he basically, shoplifted the pootie. The same thing Erica said. He would shower her with gifts and all of that type of stuff, send her all types of gifts and say that he really wanted to, be her friend and all of that. And then they end up fucking. So the same thing that he did with Erica, with her son, when they first got together, he's been doing the same thing to Amara with her daughters.
And that's how he came on to the Jessica White girl saying we should be friends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It does seem like that, but I'll be honest, I kind of question when Erica sat up there and said that her son didn't want to come around because he felt like Safari was fake. I was like, but does he think you fake too?
Yes.
Because do you even have him? I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think the baby ever. He probably about 16, 17 now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you're probably fit somewhere between 15, 16, 17, I think.
Yeah.
Somewhere
this
up
is
in
Safari's
there.
Son?
Teenager. No, this is
Erica's
her first
oldest.
son. Her oldest
I
son.
keep forgetting. Okay, yes.
Erica's
I ain't seen him since she thought she hit the jackpot with Lil Bow Wow and they was gonna become a family.
That was the last time. Because well, she can't drop these youngest two off at her parents' house. So, she gotta raise those. But Safari, yeah, he the fact that he has the car seats in his car like that, I was like, oh nigga, like you're in a whole nother state. Why do you have the car seats in your car? Have the kids come to Miami with you? I don't know. Like it just felt like he flexing to let everybody know that he's, a father and not an Instagram father like everybody was calling him. But you still just doing it with pictures and video and shit.
That's what it gives. You're just an Instagram father. Real quick, let's talk about Erica Banks and Renee Rucci.
Oh, girl.
I felt like the fight situation was fake. I will say this right out the gate. I felt like I could not be Team Erica in this situation because I felt like the way you moved with Amy and wanted to not tell her about Chaotic, you kind of did the same thing a bit when Renee brought up the fact that you smashed on my dude and you didn't want to tell me and then gonna say, oh, well, why would I do that when y'all happy? Bitch, you sound stupid. Like, and then your ego is messing up for me. Like, you're thinking, like, for you to say that y'all on different levels, like, I ain't like that.
She said don't have a hit song. Like, people are really checking for Erica Banks. She had one song and thank you, TikTok. What's next?
And then said the girl don't write her music. And for me, I'm tired of people talking about folks not writing their music. Like, that's just for me. For me, everybody's different. They want rappers to write. If that's, do your thing.
For me too.
But I just feel like, girl, I just want to hear the jam. I just want to be able to dance, hit my punchlines on social media and have a good, I don't really give a fuck about who wrote what. Them people employed if you didn't let them write on your song. They done got a check. So congratulations. Everybody need to get their little piece of coin. So for you to take that shot at her, some of y'all be writing music and it doesn't hit. And then some people gonna not write their music and it's going to hit. So at the end of the day, it's really about
whether you write it or not, it doesn't matter. That's that Nicki Minaj shit that y'all like to, beat people over the head with, but it doesn't really matter. But the most important thing that I want to discuss about this Renee Rucci Erica thing was, did y'all hear what I heard, which is that they had fucked at some point?
No, they didn't. They haven't smashed yet. Erica wants to fuck her. She wants to have sex with her.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. When did you hear it? Because it's been talked about more than once. And the first two times I heard it, so Carly and to Yandy, I thought she said we ate each other's coochies?
No, she said we were in the DMs. She was talking to me about eating my coochie, but it has never happened because once Erica saw that Finesse was feeling Rennie in any type of fashion, that's when Erica kind of fell back on her or whatever. So yeah, they never crossed the lines, but Erica wants to eat her coochie. Like, yeah, she wants to do it, but I haven't heard that it officially went down.
See, I'm kind of, you know, I need to go back and watch it because I feel like the first time she talked about that shit, she basically, like she basically put it out there that they had done something together, and then she talked to Yandy about it too, and I was like, I feel like they bleeping it, but it sounded like I was hearing each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, which made me feel like why you keep bringing it up, and like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm questioning, but I'm gonna also say I have never in my life propositioned a woman that I wasn't gonna fuck. Like, that's weird. I don't understand why you would be in anybody's DMs talking about how you want to eat them out and you didn't eat them out. Like, that's just weird to me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't just throw shit out there like that.
Makes sense though, because I feel like in the middle of them arguing, it was one part where the conversation went a little light, and I think Rennie started laughing about something. I couldn't remember what it was. And then all of a sudden, Erica kept that same energy, and they just started fighting. Low-key, I wasn't mad that Rennie threw that drink and swung. You can't come talking. Like, Erica was trying to get under her skin. Mental, you need therapy. Mental issue. Like, okay, you want to keep pressing. All right.
I actually think the scene was fake.
You think the spray and the punch was fake?
I think it was.
I do. I think it was fake.
I don't think so.
Erica didn't respond how I was expecting, nor did Rennie. Neither one of them didn't respond like, I'm gonna beat this bitch. Like, it just looked like they got up and made it look like they was tugging tight because they cut the cameras. Right. So when they got
they didn't want to fight. I think they didn't really want to fight. I think that Rennie lost her temper, but I don't think she really wanted to fight Erica, and I don't think that Erica really wanted to fight her. I think Erica liked sitting there talking shit because the way they rushed, the way
her hair wasn't really disheveled. Like, I mean, it was moved around, but it wasn't like a person is really finna snatch your shit. Because when women fight, that's the first thing they're going for. They probably going for your your hair.
She punched her though. Like,
Erica
that's what I'm saying. She looked like she straight up. She did?
Yeah, she left looking normal to me. I'm like, bitch, how your makeup still intact and you just got doused with this damn milk or whatever.
I don't think she looked embarrassed. She looked embarrassed to me for me to think she was running. Because when she said that, she said, "Walk me to the car. Walk me to the car." She was trying to sit there and act like she wasn't pressed after it happened for a couple seconds. Like, I'm gonna sit here and look cute. She knew she looked foolish. That's why I feel like it was real.
I think she got punched and that's it. I think she got punched and then they came in before any real like hair pulling. Because when they put the camera back on her after the hit, she was still responding to the drink being thrown in her face.
Like, she did an interview. She did an interview on YouTube. I can't remember the name of it, but she did an interview. I just remember just like a small piece where she said something like, what y'all see on TV is just for entertainment, and should nobody even be getting upset about it.
That's what you say when somebody punches you in your face and embarrass you on TV. It's all for show, folks. It's not real.
But I don't even think she really been going back and forth with Amy on social media either. Amy been the one that's been like keeping it up in the comments, going against chaotic and stuff. So I'm like, I don't know. I feel like this shit was fake.
It may be fake, but I don't think Erica wanted beef either way. I just think that she one of them disrespectful ass bitches that whenever a woman come to her, she just gonna take this tone with her like, and so what, bitch? So
yeah, I don't like that.
Like, yeah, me neither. It's real.
I think she's overacting. I be feeling like, Erica, that ain't really you. Some part of me feel like you overacting for the camera, like all of this hood ratchet thing you doing.
Use a lie. Somebody say Erica Mena lives in Miami now. Bitch, use the lie. No, she did not follow that nigga to Miami.
I know you lying.
Me gente, bitch. No, she did not.
Y'all, well, I'll say this. Let me tell y'all why I'm not surprised. Because she had family down in Florida that had her son anyway. Remember when she first had her daughter? Yeah, her first had her daughter, and she talked about how her son was down there with the family member while she's recovering or whatever the case was. She got family down there.
And she was only in Atlanta because of Safari, and because the only show that was on around the pandemic was Atlanta. That's really the only reason that they was down there, because they bought a house and was doing the whole family thing, and it was cheaper down there than in New York where they were. So yeah, I think that it makes sense for her to move to Florida, but it
if she got
absolutely
help down there.
Yeah, if her people still down there.
I just looked it up. Can y'all believe the internet is saying Erica Banks is only 24?
I mean, her
30.
mentality, that makes sense. It's given not fully formed brain, because she think her wigs look good, and I think there's something wrong with her if she think they look good pushed down on her forehead like that.
It's giving. I'm gonna hate it when the grown woman weight hit. But yeah, take all the pictures and videos and photo and take all that now.
You ain't like
she
I
don't think you like to work out.
And she don't like, no, she don't. And she said that. She was like, that's why I got surgery, because I don't want to work out. It's like, and you just gonna be a big bitch with a fake ass. Like,
girl.
Thick in the neck and everything. It's okay. Do your thing.
Yeah, we hate to see it. Good luck.
Oh, girl, yeah, please, because I don't want to talk about nobody's body. Please go ahead. I don't want to do that.
Bambi, Sierra, and Erica, they all sent down. Erica lets us know that she's still fucking on Safari, and he eating her out while her period is on, which I think is utterly disgusting. On.
Nasty red bone with a classy.
He ate her ass while she was on her period, right? I thought that's what they said.
I mean, he could have ate her out.
I thought she said ate her out.
Yeah, she said he wanted to eat her. He wanted to eat her pussy, because niggas like him, they like to do the nastiest thing to prove to you. That's why he was trying to be, I'm so sorry and all of that. And dudes that like to do kinky nasty shit like eating ass and eating women when they on their period, he Jamaican. Oh yeah, he all into that. Ooh. There's a part of it where it's so nasty and so degraded. You gotta know that I care about you, because I'm doing this nasty, terrible thing because I love you so much. So I want to eat you because I love you so much, even though you on your period. That's the mindset. That's the fucked up mindset of the nigga. And trust me, like, I've had too many conversations with niggas to know that this is really how their mind work. They want to do the nastiest thing, but their mind works different than ours. Like, they think doing the nastiest thing is going to make you feel more loved because they're doing it to you. So that's why he said that he wanted to do it whether she was on her period or not. And she probably didn't even want it, but just wanted to feel good. So let him do it, because she's a crackhead.
I figured she was still fucking on him, because why you have so much issue about the different women that he's talking to, and you're stalking him the same way that you did Sin. So yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm glad you came out and confirmed that you still over there sitting on that man dick. And I didn't like how she brought up the conversation about the Sierra, especially now that we got more context.
Under the bus, and I knew that immediately. Sierra looked so uncomfortable, and then she tried to fake cry because she knew Sierra was mad. Please don't be mad at me, bitch. Fuck you. You did that shit intentionally to embarrass that lady. Now she on the internet fighting for her fucking life all day because they think that she was trying to mess with that weird ass nigga. Ugh.
It was weird that they removed her from the group chat instead of just starting a separate chat. I was confused by that.
That was a lie.
Erica was saying we removed you from the group chat for this reason. It was weird. Like, y'all could have talked about that on the side.
Bambi knew.
Hold up. Who removed who from the group chat?
Bambi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they said they removed Bambi because they didn't want her to hear about blah 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 about Scrappy. Like, that was confusing me. What did you remove her for?
Because, well, here's the thing. This is how Sierra explained it. Erica wasn't supposed to know that Bambi knew about Safari hitting her up and talking about he wanted to be with her. But Sierra says that she told Bambi and she told Eric first. When it first happened, she told Bambi and she told Eric. And Bambi and Eric both told her, don't tell Erica. She felt bad, and so she told her anyway. And so over time, Erica starts telling people that Sierra was trying to fuck with Safari, even though she's telling Sierra that they pinky promised they're not going to talk about it on the show. They're going to keep it on down. They're not going to bring it up on Love and Hip Hop. That was their pact. And then she turned around and told everybody and then brought it up on the show. And Sierra was so mad. And Bambi apparently has not said anything to defend Sierra. So Sierra is done with Bambi too. And I told y'all, Bambi is just gonna be quiet and stick beside her. She's still friends with Erica. She's still in her comments, commenting on her pictures and shit as of like this week.
Who?
Bambi. Bambi is still, commenting pictures with heart eyes, because I was looking at Erica. I was looking at Erica because of the blackfishing, because I wanted to go look on her Instagram and see if there were any more pictures of her with the blackfish look. Ooh. And one of the pictures that I clicked on, Bambi, from like 3 days ago, Bambi was under the picture with the heart eyes. And I'm like, I really think that Bambi is foolish, but I think she feels sorry for Erica. Because she's going through it right now. So I think she still feels sorry for Erica and doesn't realize that Erica is friends with her because she thinks that she's unattractive, or at least in comparison to her. Like, I think that, I told you this, I think Erica's friends with Bambi and Sierra because she's the Latina girl amongst them. So she's going to stand out amongst them. You know what I'm saying? Especially dating black men. So that's why I think she's friends with them. Really, it makes her feel better. And then the shit that makes her feel insecure, like Sierra being a boss and all of that, and you know, not having her life is messy. It's messy, but it's not as messy as you over there. So I definitely think she's like, you know, she was jealous of Sierra when she found that out. And we all think that, look at her now, like you're trying to brown yourself like Amara so you can be competition.
I didn't know who this was, y'all.
Girl,
at all.
I didn't either.
Hey, Marnini, somebody.
Claremont twins.
It's the eyes. Exactly. She got her face pulled back or something. She got like the cat eyes, like
the wig too tight. That's
is it the wig?
Yeah, because Erica,
her eyes never go up like that though.
Her hair is probably, you know, pulled real tight under that wig.
Or they probably put the tape on the temples. Y'all been seeing them do that?
No.
Yeah,
like
they'll
this.
do
I know what you're talking about.
The tape and then pin it back on your hair and then put the wig on top.
Oh wow. That's horrible. I do want to play what Sierra had to say though. Let's get into some of what Sierra had to say. Can we do that? Let me see. Let me see if I'm able to share this tab and refresh. If not, all right, hold on one second. Let's see if we could get this up. Because I don't know why this thing does this. Hold on. All right. I may not be able to play what she has to say. Let me try this one more time. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to pull up.
Like the video while y'all waiting.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Appreciate that, Necey. Go ahead and like up the video. All right, y'all. For some reason, I'm not sure why it's not coming up. So I guess we won't listen to. Oh, there we go. I was like, what? I was like, what is happening? Here it is. Okay. Uh-oh. Let me share that.
When you're done, because I told him I was done.
Uh-oh, it was just working. I guess it's not meant to be. All right, y'all.
Wait, separated. Is it all on the same tab?
I don't think so.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. You know how.
Are you clicking the icon, the sound icon?
Yeah, but sometimes when you share screen now, it'll still mute it. Like they don't want you to play the sound on YouTube if you're sharing screen or something like that. It's weird.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes you have to refresh or you have to be in a separate window.
Got you. Okay. I think I may see what's happening here. Let me see if that works. Okay, there we go. We'll just share it from wherever she's at.
He said, "Don't forget to call me when you're done," because I told him I was done. I was praying.
She's talking about
Scrappy. I will call him when I get done praying.
They said parents gotta grow folks business. Safari.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Safari.
So I
do the same thing.
I said, he said, "Don't forget to call me when you're done." I said, I'm not, because I really need my own account. I was telling him I really need my own account because I wanted my own, because I wanted to
a daughter in the background.
He said between Look, he said, between me and you, I'm glad you're on the time you're on. So he's talking about he's glad I'm on the time I'm on with breaking up with Eric. So I didn't think nothing. I'm like, all right, Safari, shut up. Then he said, I want to talk to you later. Can you talk? I told him I was gonna call him back. And then so he texted me, he said, don't forget to call me when you're done. Cause I told so he was like, oh, everybody talk about it's so messy, but they still tuned in. But at the end of the day, y'all, like I said, no, it's not about getting off live. It's crazy how, for one, I'm a Black girl and everybody said I was lying. The proof right there in the pudding. But we filming about this on Love and Hip Hop. Y'all was gonna see it eventually. But you know, everybody was like, oh, Sierra lying, she lying. One thing about it, baby, I've made money for the last 6 years. I struck on myself, me and this little girl. We was broke, we was homeless. If I don't have nothing else, I have dignity, pride, and respect. And I'm a real friend. Secondly, when it happened, I called Bambi and my husband at the time, Eric. And it did hurt my friendship. We're all not friends no more. And so he was like, I promise we wasn't gonna say nothing. We get to this scene at Bambi's house. We just vibing, smoking hookah, whatever. Here go Erica. Sierra called me and told me that Safari was trying to talk to her. I'm looking at, if y'all can watch the scene, I look so caught off guard. I was like, what in the entire... But how Love and Hip Hop go, when you film something, you got to stand on that. If I didn't say nothing when she said it, they would have aired her saying it to me, and then they would have had me like this, just not saying nothing. So what I do, I instantly went and I was like, damn, this is wrong, but I still got to say what happened now because she don't threw me in the fire. I would have seen if Erica would have at least like told me, gave me a hint or something. I promise we wasn't gonna say nothing. We you know, I can't believe Erica did me. I was like, when I get a chance, I'm gonna tell her about herself, this or whatever. So Erica had to go film for Tubi, and we end up going to Bahamas or whatever. And with Erica and Spice, so that was a big thing for Love and Hip Hop. They was filming that. So when I got a chance to, and y'all gonna see this because we did a scene, but y'all gonna see it not on this season, on next season. Because me and Erica and Bambi, we're not friends anymore. Just so the world will know, we're not friends anymore. And it's so up because I love them bad. I don't open up to people. I got the same best friend since the 4th grade. You know, I can't believe Erica did.
Sierra called me one day.
All right, so y'all just pretty much heard what she had to say, girl. They is no longer friends anymore. And I think that's messed up. Bambi, did you choose a side? Did you slide over there and choose Erica's side? Erica be flawed as hell sometimes, and you know that you already knew this information, so why you ain't never like speak up? But then I do wonder, can I just say, Sierra, did you say anything when those people were saying that Bambi was, you know, mistreating that girl? Or did you just felt like you didn't have anything to add to the conversation because you weren't there, you didn't know? And I can't accept that answer a little bit. And I say that because you weren't there with her and Scrap, but you was all in his shit. So that's
a good question.
I was just asking.
Maybe because of the sequence that things took place, maybe she felt like she should stay out of it because when she was in it the last time, you know, everybody was going in on her.
That could be it.
Maybe she felt like, you know, I'm gonna just sit this one out. You know what I'm saying? Because this is funny, and I don't want to say nothing because I don't really know nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Maybe she felt like that. Also, as far as Bambi is concerned, I already told y'all, I feel like Bambi stays out of these things if she feels like she needs to stick beside somebody. I think maybe her and Erica have been friends for longer, but I personally feel like Erica gonna fuck over you too. It's only a matter of time. So, you know, maybe she's just staying quiet and staying out of it, but not necessarily choosing sides. But I did see you commenting under Erica's pictures, which makes me feel like y'all are still friends. But it also makes me feel like that doesn't mean that she has an issue with Ciara. It just means Ciara not fucking with them because of the situation. When, you know, at the beginning, Bambi told you not to tell Erica because Erica wasn't going to take it well. So
and she knew her friend.
She did. She told you don't tell her. She gonna flip out. So yeah, I feel like Bambi is definitely, you know, not on the right side of this. But I also feel like, you know, Erica's not a good friend, and I'm kind of on Ciara's side with this shit because I would listen to the whole live, y'all, and her pastor got on live and said that Safari was talking shit about Eric, saying he was a bitch ass nigga, and you know, I feel like she's telling the truth. I feel like she's telling.
I mean, Safari definitely strikes me as that type of person for sure. Be all in your face and then be talking shit about the dudes behind your back, like or behind their back. Like Safari does give fake teas for sure.
He do,
So
and I think the other
definitely
men
can see
know.
that.
You notice how he wasn't on the live when the He-Man woman haters was on the internet crying a couple of weeks ago.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't. It was
He
Scrappy.
sure wasn't.
So,
yeah, he wouldn't be. If I was Eric, he couldn't be on that live with me either. You just sat up there and said all that negative shit about me. We ain't got nothing to talk about. And then you over here trying to make a pass.
That's how you know I feel like it's true because the men ain't really messing with him.
Right. I am glad that Ciara came with her receipts though, because I ain't gonna lie, I was one of them people that was like, girl, be in a relationship. Nah, not Safari. He probably want to fuck. Yeah, I believe he probably said something like that, but I ain't think he was trying to be in like no actual relationship with you. Like, why the hell would he say that? But maybe storyline.
I don't think he meant it. I think he did it to make Erica mad. I think he knew it would hurt Erica for him to, you know, to do that. I think he also knew it would he knew the way she would respond and that it would hurt her relationship with Ciara. I think he knew all of that. I think he's trying to isolate her. And I also feel like he was just trying to hurt her. That was one of those catchback moments.
Yeah. Definitely giving catchback. And he played himself. Well, let's go ahead and move on. Anything else we got on hip hop, Loving Hip Hop ATL? I can't think. I think we probably covered everything. I don't think it was nothing else that really happened on the show. Besides them being called the Tight Face Squad and Diamond coming for a new face.
Oh, Diamond. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, that was so lame. That part of the scene where they was like, oh, Scrap is finally happy. All of them look like clowns, honestly. Like, I ain't never seen nobody celebrate somebody's divorce like that. Like, he's free from something, even though he was the one doing wrong. Exactly. And then Diamond acting like she was going to check Bambi. I'm like, girl, come on.
That was interesting. Well, really, yeah, she did. Like, I was trying to understand the Ciara and the Erica. That was the part that was kind of confusing me. Why do you need to say anything to them talking about keep my name out your mouth?
Because she got to check them on behalf of her men. That's why. Because they got to get put in their place. So you don't even worry about it, Scrap, because I got it. I'm going to handle them hoes. That's the vibe he was giving in that tacky ass wig.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can see all the glue on her face. And the knots wasn't bleached to match her skin.
Giving horrible. We hate that for you. That was it. Loving Hip Hop. Let's go ahead and scoot over. Real Housewives of Atlanta. What would y'all rate this episode?
A 4.
Yeah, I say a 4. No. You know what? I'm gonna say a 5. We're right in the middle.
In the middle too. Yeah. I was like, it gave a little bit of something, but not necessarily. Drew and Ralph go on this date to the bowling alley, and of course they talk about therapy, everything that's going on Drew's plate. And I don't like this conversation. First of all, Ralph sounds like he no longer wants to do therapy because it triggers him, and he feels like therapy ain't gonna do nothing but lead them to a divorce because he does not like sitting in therapy, which is so interesting. I don't know if anybody caught it in the Derek Jackson interview, because Derek kind of mentioned when he went to therapy with Danae, it was more of you be quiet, you sit there and listen or whatever, right? whereas the therapy was more so for the woman. So that kind of made me think of Ralph, because Ralph then it's more of him being dictated to about things he needs to fix, correct, or what he needs to sit and listen to and stuff. So he don't want to do therapy no more because he feel like those things are just gonna lead them to a divorce.
The manipulators never like therapy because they lose their power to gaslight and further manipulate, and he knows that. So it was almost like a threat when he said it ain't gonna do nothing but drive us further to a divorce. So if you want to stay married, keep letting me gaslight you.
It was also a threat to to not have blow-ups. Isn't it? It's better when I don't have as many blow-ups, right? So let's not talk about anything that's gonna make me blow up. Like it was one of those moments for me. And also the language that Drew is using to me, as much as we want to act like, once again, everybody likes to act like, oh, Drew and Ralph are doing the same thing. And I'm like, honestly, a lot of the times, those women that act like that are being abused. They really are. And they just take on the traits and the behaviors of their abusers, especially with people that they don't have the same power dynamic with. So because they don't have to fight for their fucking life in these friend groups and with these women on these shows, they can go and kind of get their frustration and their passive aggressiveness, all of the things that they would like to do in a relationship, they can do it with these women. But I'm telling y'all, as much as everybody thinks that Drew had, like, they think Ralph has to deal with the same Drew that everybody else has to deal with. And I don't believe that. I don't think that. I think that most of the time when women show up like that in front of everybody else, they try to refrain from doing that with their men. They try to be as submissive, and because let's not forget how she was talking a couple of seasons ago when Sanya was talking about getting pregnant, and she was like, I think you should do what your husband wants you to do. That's your job. And it's like, do y'all really think that Drew is not that girl? Drew is still very much that girl, but Ralph is, an asshole. You can't be that girl for a dude that don't care about your feelings. When she said she felt like he don't care about her feelings, I was like, yeah, because he don't. And he ain't never really cared. That Lunchable comment is just nail in the coffin for me. I'm sorry. They keep going back to it. She deserved the Lunchable. That lady had 2 kids for you. Why you gonna say she deserved a Lunchable?
He says so much out of range things. Another thing I didn't like about this, she tells him she got to film for 2 weeks and she gonna need help with the kids. And instead of him trying to figure out a solution for the both of them, this nigga says, I'm busy too. I said, girl, what?
Right.
That's your response to your life?
I don't make sacrifices. You do.
Like, and then I'm not trying to be daddy daycare is what he said. I'm not like tired. But you want to be Michelle Obama and Barack Obama.
He said Barack and Obama.
That's what he said.
Michelle. Yeah, he didn't even say Michelle. And that's when she was like, I think you forget sometimes you're married.
No, because he want a nigga. He want Barack and Obama. He want to be Barack and Obama. That's too male names, nigga. You telling on yourself.
I cannot. I'm screaming. That really did irk me, though. I'm like, Ralph, see, this is why y'all have problems, because you're not getting your way. And honestly, because you want to be the celebrity of the family so fucking bad. And it's so annoying. Like, you want to be that girl. You want to be that housewife. And it's so obvious. I cannot stand it. Like, we wouldn't even know you. We didn't know you. What were you doing before? You work in
technology,
IT. Like, I can't.
Does he really?
Wants her shine so bad.
What does he do? I was with Marlo when she said I do the same thing Ralph do, because what does Ralph do?
I know he put cameras in the house.
Tommy does.
Right. Right.
What cameras in the house. Embarrassing. Kenya talks to Shamia and Candy and says that she wants to have another baby. And we know that she has these embryos and she isn't sure if she's going to have that conversation with Mark or not. Shamia is on some girl. I once said, and I will go and have my babies and move on. As much as I kind of want Kenya to move forward with the embryos, because that's expensive, I really don't, because it is your baby daddy. And if he got you tied the hell up legally when it comes to Brooklyn, what you think he gonna do if you have these kids, even though the paperwork says you have permission and all of that? Like, you dealing with Mark. Like, he's gonna figure out a way to profit off that, and I just wouldn't want the headache.
I feel like it's a way he can still do something, because I was thinking of so many cases where like a mother will have a baby, give the baby up for adoption without the father actually knowing that they even had a child, and then the father coming back and getting custody of the child. Like I've heard of that a few times.
Yeah.
Not that this is even the same situation, but I'm just saying like there's probably so many loopholes as to how he could benefit off of this. And I have to respect Kenya's decision to want to use her embryo. Somebody explained to me like the process of egg retrieval and how it's already fertilized. So I have to respect her decision, but I just don't understand personally. And I couldn't, just because I would never, what she's going through, I think I would prefer to have a child some other way than to have another connection to him, whether it be DNA or anything. Like I just wouldn't want to deal with him. I would want him completely out of my life.
Yeah, I'm split, because I do feel like essentially if she really wanted to have another kid, she should be able to use whatever they didn't already paid for and cooked. At the end of the day, like it ain't like this is an easy process to go through and all of that type of shit. So and it costs money. So why should I not do what I want to do just because you're an asshole? But I do feel like if he signed away all his rights and shit, then it wouldn't be an issue, because he don't really want to be a father anyway. He just wants to make it, hard for Kenya to do whatever the fuck Kenya wants to do. But I don't think Kenya needs to have another child. I think that I hope this is just a storyline, because I don't think you need to have another child. I think there is something that's a trauma response about this. Like in my mind, I think she may not want Brooklyn to turn out the way she did. So she wants to give Brooklyn a sibling so that Brooklyn will have someone else with her. So she's not like how Kenya was. Kenya was being raised by her grandmother, but she was by herself ultimately. And I think she felt lonely a lot. So it does kind of come off like she's trying to make sure that Brooklyn doesn't feel alone and that Brooklyn doesn't turn into the cold-hearted type of woman that I think Kenya really was because of her upbringing and, because of her mom and her dad kind of rejecting her. So, yeah, I think she's thinking on another level about this that she's really not maybe seeing or talking through, because the idea that you want a baby just so Brooklyn will have a playmate is insane.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
It's irresponsible. And Mark is going to use it against you. So I feel like
That's
it's
bad.
not even really worth it. Like, go adopt if it matters that much.
Yeah,
that's how I feel about it. It can't possibly be worth it, especially when you take into account the amount of hell this man has put you through. The divorce been longer than the marriage.
She was gonna get a surrogate for everybody that's asking, her having a baby. She's gonna get a surrogate.
Yeah, that's what she mentioned. Let's get to this mental health retreat that the sister had. Ralph ignores the dog fuck out of Drew. All because she hugged Ross. Now, I didn't think it was that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, she probably should have hugged her husband, but I don't think it was that big of a deal for him to respond that way. It's just Ross. Like, how insecure can you be? But it also made me question whether they were already having issues before he arrived.
They were. That's why he wasn't there.
Yeah, which is how she was trying to like fake the funk, like, hi, husband. And he was ignoring the shit out of her. I was embarrassed for Drew. Girl, ain't no way. And then you walked all the way over there to say, hi, husband. I was trying to hug you. I'm like, nah, I would have played petty right with his ass. I'm sorry. I would have acted like I don't see you too.
Me too.
If
I wouldn't have been.
Do that.
He was just standing there as he went around and hugged everybody in the room. And if I was one of the other women, I'd be like, nigga, don't do that. Like, go hug your wife. Like,
right.
Don't do this because I can see it and I don't like it. I don't want to be a part of it. So if you don't want to hug your wife, don't hug me. Okay, thank you. That's how I would have been. But I do feel like everybody really does think that because Drew is a liar and passive aggressive, that she's doing all of these things to antagonize Ralph first. And I feel like they're probably missing the beginning of a lot of this, because to me, his whole demeanor when he walked in was like, I'm coming so I can be like one of the housewives. Like, not like my wife is here and she's doing this, but like I'm coming as a damn guest. And when he walked in, he stood over there with the other men and talked to them for a minute. He didn't come over and speak to Drew as soon as he got there. And so when Ross walked up, to me, Ross really did walk around him and hug her. It was almost like Ross did not think that Ralph was trying to hug her. And so he went and hugged her because it happened so quick. But the way Ross went to reach out for her, and I did not see Ralph reach out. Ralph was looking at her, but Ralph did not reach out to her at all. And Ross came around the nigga and hugged her. And then her arm was still out like she was expecting him to then come to her right after. But at this point, he's already gotten upset. So now he's going to go around the room and hug everybody. And then we saw him hugging the lady with the space between her teeth. And that was Drew's friend. And that looked funny style. And I always notice when producers like to throw in little scenes that don't really need to be thrown in because they're trying to tell us something.
Yes. A bunch of people commented because I was talking about the lady. I did not like that scene at all. And it felt real snake-like. It just something didn't sit right with me. The you look like you've been working, hey baby. The as you leave, your hand is still reaching towards him with the bye-bye. I didn't like that. But they said apparently the lady is one of the original hosts on Sister Circle. That still doesn't change my perception of the scene. It doesn't change my perception of the scene. Yeah, I don't like that.
I definitely felt like there was a little flirting going on. You look nice. Da 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 da. Blah blah blah. I was like, ooh.
You look like you've been working.
Okay.
And it's given very much that Ralph would fuck on any of Drew's friends, no matter what they look like.
To hurt
and
her.
I'm not saying this lady is ugly, but at all. I'm just saying,
she
like,
ain't prettier than your wife.
Exactly. I'm just saying, when I saw that scene, it was giving Ralph would fuck on anything. And that's why Drew wasn't having sex with him when they first came on the show.
I'm glad you have reminded me of that because I forgot that she really wasn't fucking with him like that. And Courtney getting her ass on that interview to try to make excuses for him, talking about he was in Tampa for a convention. Girl, were you fucking him in Tampa for a convention? Because we still don't believe y'all blood cousins. And honestly, I feel like it's so plotty, and I feel like Ralph is plotty. Like, I feel like he's very, very plotty. He's the type of dude to bring the girl he's fucking on around you. I mean, y'all remember what happened with the assistant? Like, they keep trying to act like we don't remember that shit. But sir,
and now there's music video director too, the one he was in Vegas with.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is absolutely given. He out here passing that meat around to everybody right in Drew's face, and she knows it. And when she does do whatever she does, y'all have no idea why she's doing it in the first place. Y'all just see her, being passive aggressive towards him, but we don't really know the tea. And y'all know how women do. They protect these niggas. So they're not going to tell y'all all of their fucking business because it's embarrassing to them. They're not going to tell you. They may throw their jabs. But they ain't gonna really out your shit because they still trying to protect you. And I feel like she was still trying to protect him even with the passive aggressiveness.
Y'all, what if the chef has something to do with Ralph being protected? Because all that shit don't make sense to me.
It don't.
How you gonna come to interview as a chef? Then Drew and Ralph both decide that because you didn't get hired as a chef, maybe you could become a nanny. Like, jack of all trades, what did you come here for? You don't go to a job interview for one thing and end up leaving as shit. It just don't make sense. The two don't even go together. Maybe
who lets a stranger watch their kids? Why is that the next thing? Oh, you got hair in the food, so that means you can watch our kids.
Right.
So I could imagine if maybe she's messed with Ralph before and he was like, let me get you a job. And she's like, okay, well, if y'all don't hire me or pay me, I'm gonna come out to the blogs with XYZ. So I have no idea, but yeah, that all that still don't add up to me.
Courtney called Drew a bitch. When I watched the video playback, I realized she was actually talking about Sanya. But make no mistakes, Mayetta was not lying.
I never caught that. I thought she was talking about Drew.
When she was pointing in front of her, it looked like she was talking about Sanya.
I thought she was just agreeing with Sanya. Like, nah, that bitch called me. You know what I mean?
I ain't look at it like that. Okay, yeah. It looked like she was talking about Sanya, but the gag was at the end of the day, Courtney lied. Because she said she would never call any woman at that table that, but we got it on record that you did. Call this lady somebody in the room a BIT, but it also proves what Mayetta was saying about colluding or alliance or whatever, because it did give that Courtney was out there trying to fight to prove her love to Sheree Martel and to Sanya. So
and they was making her fight to prove her love. That's why this bitch. Okay, girl. Yeah, she was in there stroking out, trying to make sure that they felt she was being loyal.
But did y'all catch how last week Drew said that she's no longer cousin Courtney, she just Courtney, and then at the table Courtney made sure to say in-law. When somebody said cousin, she said in-law. I said, oh, what done happened behind the scenes that y'all want to be very clear on where y'all stand with each other? Something must have happened on the way back from Portugal or something.
Besides the bitch comment?
Yeah, besides the bitch
I
comment. Something happened before that.
Because Drew was so open to allowing Courtney in off rip whenever your husband didn't even tell you that they was cousins. You found out from Courtney. And now all of a sudden it seemed like you're trying to create some distance, which should have been done in the beginning, because you don't know that lady.
Just went off a cousin. Looking stupid. You ain't bring her onto the show. Somebody else did. Drew sitting up there with the therapist, not sure whether she wants to leave or go. I just feel like this, Drew, you're prolonging the inevitable. It's bound to happen. I don't think y'all gonna be together in the next 2 to 3 years. Cut your losses now.
I agree.
And I think that was really it, because we're about to switch over to gossip, where we're gonna get into Sanya and Sheree. Anything else on Real Housewives though? Nothing. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into some gossip. All right, so y'all know it was discussed on this past episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta that Sanya and Miss Marlo were talking cash money about Sheree and the dinner that Martel threw for her, saying that Martel did not pay for everybody's dinner, and I believe that it was like a good, cute $1,500. All right, so I do want to get that up on the screen. Let me see where it's at so I know which one to try and play. All right, so let's go ahead and share that screen so we can hear what they got to say over here.
Who revealed the tea about him asking all the ladies for a cash out to pay for?
He didn't pay for her birthday.
Sorry, y'all.
Say who told you that?
Girl, it was Marlo and Sanya. Everyone thought that he should have picked up the bill, and Marlo and Sanya also thought it, and they were laughing behind Sheree's back.
They hanging right under your neck. They're making you think that they're so cool with you. They don't really care about you the way that you think.
I'm gonna tell you who I heard it was. I heard it was Courtney.
At the end of the day, it was just a little much for anybody to think that they were going to come to my birthday party and not bring me a gift and not do this and not do that, and then you think you're going to get your meal paid. You know, we're not married or anything like that.
Not been together that long for him to pay the bill that we have for that whole table.
I have not been to dinner with anyone whose guy paid for me, period, by myself. Any of you guys. Typically, when it's a birthday party, people chip in. People chip in.
Let's push through.
Let's push.
Yeah,
people would can chip in for the birthday girl. Especially if you didn't bring the gift. I'm just saying.
One thing, so I'll be honest. I originally thought that Martel would pay it. Like I didn't think about like how new the relationship was. So Martel shouldn't have that responsibility. And I think about that whole gift thing you keep saying, Sheree.
We want to get out of here.
No, I gotta answer this. No, because
I just landed.
No, because the thing is, Sheree, when we first started gonna have the dinner, I thought it was gonna be just me, you, and Ross.
But when you got there and figured it out, when you got there and figured it out, you still want your meal to be paid for when you got there and you didn't know.
No, but Sheree, hold on, no.
Empty-handed?
No, serious. I think it's empty-handed. So I literally found out about your restaurant the day before, right? So to me, I'm not gonna run. You're not 5 years old. I'm not gonna run to the store to go buy you a gift.
And you're grown. Why would I pay for you and your guy? You and your husband's dinner?
I paid for y'all to eat at Ashley's birthday party. I didn't ask y'all a chip.
You know how many parties or events I've had? You see my events, honey. You think they're cheap? Okay. So we're not talking about an event. We're talking about a dinner.
That's what I'm saying.
Why would you expect me for my birthday to pay for you and your husband?
Friends and their husbands, they pay.
Why would you
pay? But I'm not saying he has to pay. I'm not saying he has to pay. I would have to pay.
But you should not expect me to pay for anything on my birthday.
I didn't expect you to pay. Don't tell me what they expect.
He did pay for me.
That's what.
But why would he pay for you and your husband?
But what I'm saying is about the no.
Ross shouldn't even want a man paying for him and his wife.
No. Okay, y'all stop.
Ross should not get the bill. Ross should not have wanted a man to pay for him and his wife.
The bill. So he was
nobody
for
y'all.
What do you
mean? I didn't need him to pay for me.
I don't need him to pay for me either. What I'm saying is that people
you're acting like Candy and Marlo is misunderstood.
That is your husband. Your husband shouldn't even want another man paying for you.
Who said my husband did?
I'm gonna.
You just said you wanted Martel to pay for you.
The streets are saying Martel didn't pay for your birthday dinner.
Girl, well, I did hear that it was you guys that had a conversation.
Okay, now you're wrong.
And it's the fact that Marlo sat up there and she gonna pretty much lie, I feel. And maybe it was Courtney, but you're saying all of that as though you did not contribute to that. I do feel like Marlo has some shit to say. Marlo, you always talking about people's fashions, their lack of money. You talk about how much money you want in a man. Like, you're always talking about that. So it's just funny to see you sip on your wine and be real quiet. But I was enjoying seeing Sheree and Sanya go back and forth. I have to say that I'm with Sanya on that, because if this was like an actual party being thrown for Sheree, it probably would have been $15,000. But now that it was a dinner, it's like, okay, just pay the $1,500. And if you were gonna ask people to cash app you, I just feel like just let them know ahead of time of what
that was
the plan
embarrassing
was.
as fuck for Sheree. I would never want to be okay. Well, this is the thing. For one, I don't feel like Martel actually threw the dinner. I think Sheree just said that shit because she thought it sounded good. Because Sanya clearly said she thought it was just gonna be Sheree, Ross, and herself. So she didn't even know Martel was gonna be there. But I just think he probably should have paid for it, especially in the big money circles that they run in. They often pay for each other to do the most basic shit all the time. That's like common courtesy in their group. That's something that should be done. Sheree was low-key trying to act like it had to do with the length of time they were dating. And let's be for real, he done been with you through 2 noses now. So he should be paying for he should be paying for dinners. And then you said, well, he's not my husband. It doesn't matter. I would hope that a guy that you were dating will be have the potential to be your husband. So maybe he should pay. Like, that's tacky as fuck to ask people to cash app. He should have $1,500, especially when you make money on TV. You should have.
You know what she could have did? Instead of them trying to get money off of other people, you should have just slid that nigga your debit card like all the rest of the women. You know, pretending like they niggas got money when they don't. You should have just slid him your debit card. Just slide it to him right under the table. Here you go, pay for it.
Yeah, because she embarrassed herself by. I just can't believe he had the audacity. Nobu. I think they said they went to Nobu, and that's the thing that we talked about when we saw that clip of them 14 people going to an expensive restaurant and talking about, do you want to split the bill? And it's just like, you cannot go to an expensive restaurant with 10 people and think that your waiter is gonna split the bill 10 ways. They don't do that. It's one card. So that was just tacky.
And I will only be paying for my meal, however.
Yeah, as for me. For me, I feel the same way. But Martel,
right? Y'all playing bigger. Y'all playing on a higher level. We have different expectations, especially when Sheree likes to throw these lavish parties, as we're going to see on this coming Sunday. Martel couldn't pay for your meal, but you're making sure he shows up to your house to enjoy the festivities that you spent thousands of dollars on.
And not only that, as Sanya was saying, it's not that he should. That was just my expectation. So when he did not, I was shocked, and I was going to talk about that whack ass shit because I was shocked because the niggas we around can pay a $1,500 bill. The fuck type of money he over there making? Apparently not enough. I think because they allow Sheree and him to live in La La Land over there, they can pretend like he don't have 5 kids that he needs to save his money for. Because that's what I really do feel like they living in La La Land. Like, this nigga ain't got no money. Like, what are you talking about?
You're right. He not making no money once they go to all the kids.
So he didn't get you no Alexander McQueen bag neither.
Then said he don't get the expensive ones, girl.
But
you don't have to drag that man like that. But you out here trying to take shots at other people, man. Get it together. Get it together, ma'am. All right. That's all that I got on these 3. Anything else? I think we good. We all believe that Martel should have took care of the tab. Here's the thing. Can I say this before I go? You're a friend girl. That's the real reason he didn't take care of the tab. Because I'm like, let's say Martel had the coin. He possibly did. But because you're a friend girl is why he didn't pay. Melody Hope can run up a $2,000 tab and he gonna pay that money. Okay. Yikes. But let's go ahead and let's keep going. Let's get into Courtney and the things that she had to say about Miss Drew Sorora. Let's go ahead and check this particular situation out. Let me
no Tampa in terms
He
of
went
like
to
he's
Tampa,
right, but
but
he didn't
yeah,
disappear
no.
in the stripper, and there was no Chocolate Magic Mike where he went to
Which
Vegas.
the Chocolate Magic Mike, which that has already aired, right?
Yeah,
so I
that
can
just
say
aired.
this. So Ralph was in Vegas for a tech conference, which I knew that because we were friends. You know, we were building this friendship. We were friends, cousin at this point. So when that happened, I was literally like, when I told him, I'm like, what were you? He's like, I was there for work. Drew knew that. He's like, oh, Drew and I were just joking about that. That wasn't real. I'm like, are you kidding me? So when you see it, it looks like it was real, but it was a joke between him and Drew that Drew then brings back to the friend group like he really was doing this, which to me is just not okay. I think now it's super clear.
I think so.
Yeah, to not just Ralph, but the audience as well.
So right, so there was really no Tampa in terms
He
of
went
like
to Tampa,
but he didn't disappear in the stripper, and there was no Chocolate Magic Mike where he went to
which
Vegas.
the Chocolate Magic Mike.
And let's see what
went to Vegas.
I mean, from what he told me. I mean, I know he was at a tech conference. He did a live actually from the conference. I'm not sure if Drew even understands the damage that she does with her lying. I think it's to have a narrative and to double down on storylines fitting the narrative that she's put out there to continue the story on the platform. And I think that she thinks probably that Ralph's supposed to just be like, I'm taking one for the team. This is my wife. This is for our family. It's just TV Ralph. But reality TV is different from acting in like a film or a show. Like you go home and life continues and reputations are ruined.
Went to Vegas.
I mean, from what he told me. I mean,
all right. So
reputations are ruined, girl. Jump off a bridge.
Yes. So at first I was thinking when I heard it, like, okay, so Drew is lying. It never happened. But Ralph said on TV that it did happen. And now you're saying that they both came to the front and said that no, it never happened. It's just
it
for
was
show.
a joke.
And low key, it don't even sound like they knew each other. Based on what we've seen this season, it don't sound like Courtney even knew Ralph during that time frame. It's just giving very weird energy. Courtney is like the biggest pick-me that I think I've ever seen on the show, even more than Giovanna. When Giovanna was pushing that storyline for Nene. Because like we've seen Courtney pull all the levers, and for you to continue to talk, like you don't even go here. Don't come back.
You really do not go here. I hope that she does not come back. Thank you so much, Jania, for the super chat. Sheree got to take a nap. I work for New York City Corrections, a cute coin, but far from a housewife. But I can cover a $1,500 birthday dinner and not lose no sleep. The fuck? Thank you so much for the super chat. I'm with you. Anything else on Courtney? I just want her to go away. That's the only thing that I could say. It's giving she was a big fan of the show and she's glad to be on here now. So congratulations. And we may not see you again. Let's go ahead and move on. Candy Burris and Miss Phaedra Parks. Candy did an interview recently on her Speak On It where she said she don't owe Miss Phaedra not a goddamn thing. Okay, so let's just check out what Miss Candy had to say about that.
You told me that Candy told you out your own mouth that this happened.
Yeah,
and she was like, "Well, no, then she tried to say no, somebody else
told me
that."
Right?
Yeah, like it's. You can't defend yourselves against blatant liars or people who are so spiteful that will make up anything to tear you down and then hide. Because like during the time that the whole situation played out, we didn't even know she was involved.
Right. But that was her thing. She was saying if you made up with Portia, and she was like, Portia have become friends again. She don't see why Phaedra don't get the same grace. But I mean, what do you mean? It
wasn't just that. People also forget the whole thing. Okay, first of all, those accusations, people want to bring those up every other year. I don't know if y'all know, people be like, oh, she must be true, or maybe it's some truth too, even though y'all seen it play out as a lie, right? And we all know those type of accusations
they stick with you for life.
Stick with you for life and have totally ruined some people. Now, thank God that I was able to turn the situation around.
But I think that was because people know you.
One, yeah, that I do believe a lot of people.
They know you don't drink, so
yeah, I believe a lot of people didn't believe it. But then also there are a lot of, I mean, over time, you know, the shit that it all came out in the end, and it was proven that she was lying. You know what I'm saying? Had Portia not said anything, right, I would have never known that she did it. And I would have never been able to defend myself against that. Yeah. It would have just been something that would have been forever. Kept going and dragged my name, right? And my businesses. Yeah. And mind you, I have a Bedroom Candy, which is an adult brand, and something like that definitely will ruin that.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So that's one thing. The other part about that, I think a lot of people forget in the middle of the reunion that year, she was like, oh yeah, how's everything going with your restaurant? Now, people, which y'all don't know, or well, what I thought I explained back then, maybe some of y'all don't forget. My restaurant wasn't
the city and calling people. I remember you saying
for some reason, like I had passed everything before the board, but my liquor license had not been signed off on, and we were supposed to be opening our restaurant, but for some reason, it hadn't been signed off on. And when she did that, I knew that she had something to do with it because she was cool with the person who had to sign off. Let's just say that at the time. Okay. And so my whole thing was, it's one thing for you to try to tear me down on the show, right? Yeah. But then you also trying to affect my life and my business outside of the show. Right. And that's when I was just like, you know what? That's dangerous. You get what I'm saying? And with that being said, I don't want to like, I can't with you because I can't, you know, like you will be pulling strings and doing everything you can to destroy me, even when it has nothing to do with the show. Right. Even when I'm not around you, I don't see you, I don't talk to you. So you know what? Let me just excuse myself and move. Like I've never tried to, you know, stop. Obviously, she's still on show. She's still on Bravo. Right. So you do you, I do me. If they want to have you there, that's fine. I just don't want to be there. Like, I don't know why everybody has a problem with me saying that. I don't get it. I don't get it. It played out in front of y'all. Like, I don't get it. I don't know why people try to change the story. I be seeing people change the story now and be like, nah, see, she really didn't. No, she really did. She really did. She really said those things. She really did claim that I said it out of my mouth first and then changed the story and said somebody else's story.
Somebody told her.
Like, it really happened. But everybody, for whatever reason, wants to act like I'm just supposed to be like, yeah, so let's talk.
What we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. And as far as me and Portia, it is taking a long time for us to get
like
to a
2 or 3
place
years after that of y'all like going back and forth. Yeah, it was a while.
It was taking a long time for us to get back to a place of being, you know, being cool, whatever.
Co-workers.
So, right. I mean, we had to continue to work with each other at the show. Right. So, yeah, we worked through those things. But to me, it started with the admission of this wasn't right. This is what happened, and putting all the cards on the table.
Thing, Portia apologized. Phaedra still ain't.
Yes, and people still don't understand it. Thank you. At least somebody understand it.
But that's why I was still confused, and I think that's why you and Portia got into it later. What was she apologizing for?
Well, I mean,
for her role in it.
No. I think that's why it still took us a long time.
Right.
It still took us a long time to get on the same page because I felt like, you know, it was a lot clearer. But at the end of the day, for there to be any fault admitted, and like I said, if it wasn't for admitting, you know, what was said there, who said it, like we would have never gotten to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I was like,
all right, so y'all just pretty much heard what Miss Candy had to say. In so many words, she feel like she don't owe Phaedra. And I didn't really know about the things that was happening outside of the show.
I forgot about that shit until she said.
Like, I didn't know that either. That shit is weird.
I'm good.
It's extra.
Yeah, that's a different type of envious, and that's a different type of heart condition you got going on. If you would do something like that, like take it that far, take it. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what Candy could have done so bad, all because she was storing Apollo shit. Like something about that.
Evil.
She felt like she didn't pick a side. Like Candy also didn't feel like it was cool for Phaedra to not allow Apollo to see the kids, even though he was in prison. So she like invited her nephew over to talk to Phaedra about that. Like, you know, Candy was kind of being a pick me a little bit on Apollo's behalf because of Apollo's relationship with them and with Todd. But I feel like y'all wasn't seeing that nigga clearly because he was disrespectful and a damn liar.
Right. Yeah, it's just so funny now looking back at it because Phaedra said she didn't want to take the kids to a prison and she was on the show acting all holier than thou, but you on Instagram with your ass out.
She was on the show with her ass out.
Was she? All I remember her wearing it was them big ass skirts.
No, girl. Them last couple of seasons of her and Portia, the Boom Boom twins with their ass out every time we turned around. They was in something with that. Girl, you remember that?
I remember them wearing the leggings and like doing the freaking frack thing with their booty, but this level of Phaedra that I see is like
with the blonde hair and shit. Oh yeah,
she's trying to be an Instagram booty. Like I could actually see your ass hanging from your shorts. I don't remember that on Real Housewives. She tried to keep it like semi young, fun, sexy on Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is giving thirst. Extreme.
You know why? Because she probably ain't in the church as much as she was before. Remember, she was all really in the church like that when she was younger. But see, now I think that life has lifed and she's no longer in that same space. But because she dug that hole so deep back then, because she was very judgmental, she threw that Bible around at people. Because she was on her pedestal, I think, you know, that's the reason, you know, the mighty they fall. That's why, you know, we kind of like, it's just weird because you was putting on so heavy back then. You didn't even want to be honest about your pregnancy, you know, time frame.
She said the doctor said if it's fully ready, he could come. Oh, at 5 months though. What you talking about, baby?
Trying to be secretive. Thank you so much, Janelle, for the super chat again. She says Courtney just found out they was cousins this season. Tampa was their first season. So how the she know? The math ain't mathing. Exactly. Big fan is what it's giving. Thank you so much for the super chat. All right. Anything else on Phaedra and Candy? All right, y'all. So we're about to switch this up, and girl, it's not stressful. It's actually embarrassing. Okay. We have to talk about Taryn Manning. Taryn Manning took to social media so that she could vent her frustration about being a side chick to a married man. Okay. I just want us to get into what Miss Taryn had to say. So let's see what she said.
You want to put me in jail? I'll put you in jail so fast your head will be spinning. Don't you ever threaten me. And I will show you how I do. Don't you ever threaten me when your husband came to me to get his butthole licked. Don't you ever threaten me again, Leanne. You dumbass. What are you thinking?
It's giving meth head in a nice car.
You've lost it. Not I. Not I. I brought your husband to Newport Beach. We drove all the way together. We had so much fun. He had his hand on my leg the whole time. Most of the time, finger banging me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie anymore about it. You know, I had no underoos on, and every time licking his fingers.
Bitch, underoos.
To buy him a boat. To buy him a boat, and all day we went on a boat, the boat that he wants, and I was gonna buy it for him, and then he messed up real bad today. And you're coming after me. Nah, ain't gonna happen, lady. You made a huge mistake. In the name of, you're dusted. Dusted, I ain't scared of you. You should be scared of me. So I had to pull over because I'm just like, I don't want to like cause crashes because I'm just so rooted right now. So
this is the top of her video.
The man that I've been messing with is a married man, and every night, well, for about 3 nights in a row, or even maybe there's a night in between, I was licking his butthole. Yep. Because he liked it. And I didn't mind doing it. Does that bother? Is that weird? Yeah. And that is what demons do. So we drove all the way down to Newport Beach today so I could buy him a boat. I was so in love, so I thought, so I could buy this gentleman a boat. And I brought cash to put a down payment down. Like, I really loved him. I was like, yes, like, we're into the same thing, like, we're kinky, blah, blah, blah. And his wife, because he's married, and I feel so bad because I can't stand her. I can't stand his wife. Because she wasn't even like, wait, what? You've been messing with my man? She said, you lunatic, you get out of my life or I'll get an RO on you. No, I'll put your ass in jail. Anyway, so I've been licking your man's butthole for weeks on end because he likes it a lot, and I do it to him, and he comes to me, and it happens. And that's a lot. I know it's a lot of information, but I'm the lunatic, right? No, I'm just single, very single. And he came to me. So you don't accuse me of being a lunatic, but I'll tell you one thing, lady. You want to put me in jail? I'll put you in jail so fast, your head will be spinning. Don't you?
All right, y'all just heard Miss Taryn Manning going the hell off on some type of rant.
Some type of substance.
Yes, there we go. A substance type rant. My question really is this. Share your thoughts about the video, of course. But who had the worst rant? And I was asking this question on my community wall. Is it Arian Curry or is it Taryn Manning?
It's Taryn, definitely.
It's Taryn. It's her, like, how much she proclaimed eating his butthole. Like, first of all, I don't know if y'all know, but that's always been like the white girls have been doing that for a while. The black girls, you know, the degenerate ones are just now getting on that. Shout out to Suki. But yeah, it makes sense. When she was like, is that crazy? I'm like, no, you look like one of those white girls that would do some shit like that. Her car looks so nice. She still got bread. I'm trying to understand why she acting like I know why she acting like this. Like, you obviously like high off drugs and dick, apparently, in order to be trying to buy a boat with cash. I'm like, bitch, you really like this? The ends you got to go and spend on this married man and his butthole? Girl, this is so sad.
Very much so.
Yeah, and I it's giving hardcore drug because just the wrinkles all across her chest and her face, that's too much aging based on the last time we seen you. It was what killed me is that it didn't matter how high she was still gonna revert to the typical white people thing, which was, I'll put you in jail so fast your head will spin. That killed the fuck out of me. How you gonna put her in jail for anything just because you have an affair with this lady husband? But I will say, I saw Taryn post an apology, and it bothered me that in her apology, she only apologized for having an affair with the man, but never apologized for coming on to the internet high as a damn kite. So I'm concerned for her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm concerned that she's trying to buy a boat while they on strike. I'm trying to figure out how much money Taryn got. We don't know when you're going to get more gigs or what's going to happen, but you out here trying to buy people boats. Like,
she's still making good money off Hustle and Flow.
And clearly Orange is the New Black too.
Well, what's crazy is they said Orange is the New Black wasn't paying nobody. Somebody posted they royalty checks, and it was like nothing. They weren't getting paid anything.
They still ain't getting nothing.
Nope. I think she might be getting money from the movie she did back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, those checks, Taryn probably would be cleaning up off those.
Nah,
like
she's
8 Mile. Yeah.
She's filmed some stuff recently
she was
too.
on Karen. I forgot I watched that.
She did.
Yeah,
Karen was on BET Plus or something, and she didn't even look that old there.
Yeah, it's giving drugs. It's giving I'm addicted to drugs.
Yeah, she got a lot of projects coming out this year if they haven't already dropped. She had quite a few come out last year, 2021. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what them residuals look like or what the initial fat checks look like that
She
Miss
working. She working.
Yeah.
That's what we see.
Yeah, for sure. Yikes. Well, we hate that for her, girl. Get it together. Get your life together. Don't, let him ruin that for you. Okay. Next up, I want to talk about Masika.
Oh, yes.
And this young lady here that goes by the name of Natalie Nunn. Okay. I want to get into them real quick because I believe the conversation came up about Masika joining Zeus or something or doing baddies. And she says that it's really beneath her. So let me see if I can refresh and play what she says.
To try to be welcome. That's ridiculous.
It's not about that.
Why the fuck do I need to go on
with
baddies
is
to
stick
educate
with.
some bitches that want to fight? Why the fuck do I need to do that? That's retarded.
Don't have to, but you just coming in there, that's blessings. Doing that type of shit
guess
and
what?
still
Guess
being
what?
a
Guess
blessing.
what? I am a blessing.
weirdo.
And when I realized that my no was stronger than my yes, I became more powerful. So fuck no. I ain't doing no damn shit that's beneath me to try to educate some people that don't want to fucking learn. Because that's a waste of my time and energy when I have children to educate. And on my platform that's not for fighting, that's where I do it at. I'm not going to go in the boxing ring and try to make people eat fucking vegan food. That's retarded.
Beneath you. That's why. And I get where y'all mixture is.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not saying anybody's beneath me. I'm saying I'm not going into the lion's den dressed in meat and thinking that someone's gonna listen to me. All they want to do is
nobody said that.
That's a lion's den. I'm not going in covered in fucking meat and tell people, wait, lions, wait, listen to me.
She don't want that.
I don't.
She want to know more than them bitches.
You sound crazy. No, I do know more.
You want to take a sideways steamy shit. Yep. You want to sit
if
there.
I went on that show, I would. If I went on that show, that is what I would want to do.
That's why bitches on that show be taking bitches.
You know what? You're mad because I'm not letting you try to get me out of my point.
I'm not mad.
You are.
No.
You're aggressive.
Baby, I'm not.
There's absolutely no reason in heaven, hell, or earth.
I'm just asking.
There's no reason in heaven, hell, or earth for me to go do some dumbass shit to try to educate me. I would be a dumb bitch. I'd be a dumb bitch walking into a fucking boxing match trying to get everybody to sing him.
This is the real you right here.
That's stupid. That's dumb as fuck. That's dumb as fuck. That's why I left Love and Hip Hop. Because at the end of the day, I have daughters that are going to be looking at me.
Just as crazy as them bitches. That's why I said I feel like it's a perfect fit.
Well, you know what? If you feel like that, then you go fucking get some of them bitches that you used to pimp, and you go put them on there.
Do with anything?
Because you talking like you Father Teresa.
This is what
I'm not going somewhere I don't feel welcome to try to be welcome. That's ridiculous.
It's not about that.
Ooh, girl, was they yelling or was they fucking yelling? I think Masika was handling him, and I don't think he can necessarily take it and take this interview.
He walked off eventually.
Did he?
Yeah, he walked off. He got up, and then the cameraman told him he had to go and finish. Yeah, because he got real upset. Apparently, he's an ex-pimp. And that's why, and I was like, oh, that makes sense, because the way he was talking to her was like reverse psychology. Like trying to make it seem, oh, you think you better than them. I don't have to think I'm better than them. I think I'm better than going on fucking baddies. And she is better than that. And I don't care what Natalie or nobody else talking about. I don't give a fuck about her doing the conversation. That was a waste of her time. If she made a cute little check off that, I'm happy for her. But that was a waste of time, which is why y'all don't do that show anymore. And then on top of that, I feel like the dude was just doing way, way, way too much. Is giving you jealous of that lady. He was real upset because she was talking about how she started doing stocks and she's made millions in stocks. And he got upset when she was talking about that. He wanted to try to degrade her and tell her that she needed to be on baddies. That's what she needed to be. And then try to mind fuck her into thinking that she was supposed to be going helping these girls by going on baddies. She was like, no, I'll go on Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then he argued with her about why she would go on Real Housewives of Atlanta because they ain't got no wives on there and that's not really her speed. Like, how the fuck you gonna tell this grown-ass woman who's married with children that she shouldn't go on a housewives show because she don't fit? Like, what? He was basically telling her, you ain't good enough for Real Housewives. You should just go on over there to Zeus. That's what he was trying to tell her.
Yeah, he wanted to mind control her. And I didn't think she lied when she said you're being aggressive. I was actually glad she said it because to me it did seem like he was being aggressive. He felt like his point wasn't being agreed to. So he just kept beating it in, black hole conversation.
Yeah, he definitely strikes me as a man that only allows women on his platform so that he can knock them down a peg and then try to build their mentality up to what he wants it to be. Basically being pick-me's and go-alongs with whatever the fuck he talking about. But it's like, it makes me think of Erica Mena when she used to say, "You can't handle my mouth, motherfucker." That's how I feel about Masika. You can't handle Masika, motherfucker. All right, we could say a lot of things about her, but she be ready. She be on her toes. She be listening when y'all think that she ain't listening. And I loved how she gathered him. And I feel like the only reason why she got loud with him was because he wasn't letting her talk, and he was just so loud. But if he would have had a little bit of composure, she would have continued to read his ass on one level.
And let me tell you what else she did. She asked him, because he got all upset and all that, she started asking him, she, "What's your sign? What's your sign? What's your sign?" Like, so, you know, and he was trying to still argue, but eventually he was like, "I'm a Virgo. I'm a Virgo." And, you know, if I was really mad, I wouldn't have answered your question. Like, oh, she had that nigga in a tizzy.
I was gonna say, was he lying about his sign just to throw some shit out there?
Yeah, my God.
You little liar. Well, let's go ahead and move on to some other people that I am gonna say everybody liars. Okay, that's what I am gonna say. What they lying about, I don't know, but I don't believe everybody, and I'm just gonna put their face on the screen and we're gonna get into an interview. Okay, this is Fallon, Pina, and her baby daddy, Mr. Jaylan Banks. Okay, she recently, first of all, let's start with Jaylan. Jaylan recently did an interview over on Relationship Matters podcast. When he did this interview, he said that Fallon groomed him. Boy, was that the most inaccurate term for him to use. Okay. Once this came out, Fallon decided to take to social media to post the image of herself in a shirt that says "The Groomer." Okay. And then she followed it up with an interview that she did recently. Okay. So I do want to check out a snippet of that interview so that we all can hear what she actually had to say about Jaylan. So let's check this out.
From day one, I always wanted to save Jaylan's image. I always wanted to build him up. I wanted him to feel like a man, you know, because that's what he yearned for the most. But I have to be honest, because he did this to himself. You know, he opened up that bag, and I would have preferred to just keep it quiet. But now I have to defend myself. Jaylan has never paid for anything, ever. I paid for every single thing. I mean, even on couples retreat, if you go back and watch when he was in our therapy session and he was saying, you know, like, "I'm so frustrated, I have to pay for this and that and take care of the kids." I was trying my hardest not to laugh because I'm sitting here like, huh? You do what?
Does he take care of his daughter?
Oh, hell yeah, he does. He's a great daddy. Cool. Great daddy.
But as far as like paying the bills, and I saw you bought him a truck at one point.
Yeah,
you bought him a truck, 2 trucks. What happened to the truck?
I took it back. But listen, I took it back because there was cheating. I mean, there was abuse. There was there was domestic violence. Yep.
Really?
Oh, domestic violence.
There was a lot that I put up with in just 2 years of being with him. It got to a point where, I mean, he was putting his hands on me. We weren't even together anymore. You know, he just got mad one day because he found out I was dating. We were still living together because we were trying to figure out, you know, how to separate everything.
Right.
We weren't sleeping in the same bed for months. And when he found out that I finally was like moving on and, you know, taking those steps towards like seeing other people, I'll never forget it. He came home. It was 4 a.m. He came busting in the door and he choked me out. And I had to calm him down because then after that, he couldn't forgive himself because he said he would never hit me again. And so it was to the point, like, I know in his interview, he said that I just up and left with a man and, you know, now my kids are calling another man dad. And it's like, no, I had to call that man because I don't have family, you know, that could be there for me. And I had to call that man to come protect me and my kids and get us out of there safely. You know, I had to call the police. It was really dark. It got really dark. It got really bad. And all I kept thinking was, I don't deserve this, and my daughter doesn't deserve to grow up seeing a man put their hands on her because that's exactly what she's going to grow up thinking that is okay. The only reason why I put up with it is because I watched my mom go through the same thing. So I'm like, oh, well, here I am making excuses. He's young, he's upset today. He's going through a lot. The media, they're so mean to him. Like, I could do it. I could save him. To the point where it was at my own detriment. And I had to learn that I can't keep saving people's image. Meanwhile, everybody's out here thinking I'm controlling or manipulative or a groomer.
How did that come from the grooming comment?
In his interview that he recently did, he said that I was a groomer, that I groomed him to be with me. But a groomer is someone who's much older. I'm 9 years older, but I get it. Cool, I'm older. But, there's something to groom you for. There was nothing to groom you for. I did everything. And
damn.
I mean, yeah.
Damn. How did it make you feel after that comment? Because I saw that all over the media.
Yeah.
I saw your t-shirt.
Yeah, that's why I made the t-shirt, because I'm like, oh, okay, well, while we're out here lying, let me just go ahead and make some type of clapback, because I don't think that grooming is very funny at all. I was actually groomed. I was with someone who's 30 years older than me, and would use my youth and everything like that and manipulate me in order to stay with them, So to say that I was a groomer, knowing damn well that I held you down, I paid for everything. I allowed the media and everyone, my own family, to believe that you were a real man and that you were out here taking care of business in the household, when in all actuality, you weren't doing anything. I cooked, I cleaned. I not that he didn't cook ever, but most of the time he would play his game for 16 hours a day because he fell into depression and would not be there for me and the children. I was going through postpartum by myself, so, and he was going out, found out that he was cheating on me because he came home at 8 a.m., and went through his phone, and lo and behold, he's sharing his location with a whole woman and her sharing it back. It's just like, I could go on and on, but it got to the point where enough was enough. And we had only been together for 2 years,
like incomplete before y'all got.
Yeah. I mean, we got pregnant right when we started dating. Like,
I was going to ask, why would you have a child with him knowing that, he doesn't even take care of.
He was not this person when we were friends. And that's the one thing that I do miss the most. I did, was that I really saw him as a different person, because when we were friends, oh my God, we had the best experiences. We had the funniest laughs. He was my dog. And no matter what I went through, all the people who left me, all my best friends, even family members who left me in the dust after Simon and I got divorced, Jaylan was still there. He was the only one there. Everybody left. Nobody believed in my vision of me being able to do this for myself, Everybody kept calling me stupid or I fumbled the bag, or, I was dumb for choosing myself.
And him.
And who?
And Jaylan. Were they mad that you chose Jaylan, like, to be with and start a life with?
You know what? I think all of the city of Atlanta is still mad that I chose Jaylan.
I did raise my eyebrow at you when I was like, wait.
I mean, because you ended up proving them right, kind of, when you, saying that you had to really take control over everything, because he wasn't, manning up to anything.
Right.
And just, to give him that excuse to make him feel a certain way.
Right.
Do you feel like that came from your lack of control over your life,
All right. I'm going to pause it there. If y'all want to hear more, see more, definitely hop over to Baller Alert and check out the rest of the interview. But what do we make of what Miss Fallon had to say about Jaylan being abusive?
I believe her.
I do too. I believe her. The only thing I don't believe is that she had to pay for everything and he didn't have to pay for anything, because it kind of sounded contradicting whenever she said that they were still living together after the fact and they were trying to figure out how to split everything. Because if he didn't have to do shit, it's given. Go. Bye.
And that's where I'm with you, Necey. Like, when she talk about the abuse and everything, I'm like, girl, that probably definitely happened. So I'm not gonna discredit any of that. But it was some of the double talking that was happening throughout the interview, like that kind of had me like a little confused. Like, so did he not have money, or he didn't have money, or you were taking care of everything? You said that you had a lot of money from Simon, but she also goes on to talk about how she don't even got her kids. She only got 2 kids right now. The other 2 live with the dad. And then she opens up and talking about how she had to pay child support for the first child. It was just a lot of stuff that she mentioned towards the end that kind of had me being like, I ain't gonna lie, Fallon, like, it's giving double talk.
She trifling.
It's giving you and Jaylan probably they're together with the shit. Like,
but I will say this, because I do feel like, I saw some comments, because y'all love to, you chose him us to death. But at the end of the day, the only reason we're talking to her right now is because he decided to get his ass up there and do that interview and say that she groomed him and that he got her the way he lost her, which is not fucking true. I do feel like she's always trying to like look for love instead of taking care of her responsibilities. I think she's messy. I think that she go from man to man and she don't take no time to sit her ass down, which is how she ended up in that relationship in the first place. That was a rebound. That was dumb for you to get pregnant by your rebound. But Jaylan said the same thing about their friendship, about how much fun they had together and how he misses being her friend in the first place. So I do believe that they had whatever connection that they, you know, it was during the pandemic, I think, too, like right at the time when this happened. So they probably did spend a lot of time together, enjoy that time together, thought that this is what was supposed to happen. So you free willy having sex with him. You get pregnant, y'all try to work on it because you just ignoring the fact that he young because you used to be young and you thinking I'm not gonna be like them old niggas was with me, but you kind of still was because you was paying for shit and then you was low-key throwing slugs at him on the show, like, you know, being, you know, she would be mean. She would say mean ass shit to him in front of everybody and then he would cry and then everybody would be, oh yeah, like one time she was like, why you gotta be so stupid? And everybody was like, damn, Fallon, why you had to talk to him like that? He had to go walk away and cry and shit like that. So there's a part of me that feels like it's not that he was always some abusive person, but I do think where he could no longer control their relationship, meaning like once she has decided she didn't really want to be with him and she talking to another dude, even though they still in the same house with one another. I do think that those were the times that he probably got violent with her because he seems like one of those young guys that would lose control of themselves when they get really upset.
He seems like a guy to me that let shit pile up and then has that reaction of like, you know what I'm saying?
I really like that female host though. She took me out whenever Fallon dressed it up and was like, you know, everybody was mad at me for leaving Simon. I chose myself. She said, and him. Because I don't know if she meant like you chose yourself and you chose Jaylan, meaning that you moved on immediately to Jaylan, or was she saying, are they upset that you left Simon and you left Jaylan? I'm taking it the first way. I'm thinking you chose yourself and you chose the man because you moved on from one thing to the next.
And you moved on from a man with money to a man with no money, and they was looking at you like, bitch, you got kids and shit. Why is you moving on to a man with no money? Like, what's wrong with you? I could definitely see everybody having that. And then also feeling like, girl, how many times we gonna go through this with you? Because it do feel like she, you know, goes from one relationship to the next, kind of looking for love and allowing herself to be manipulated and shit.
Yeah.
And I say allowing. Okay.
Well, she says she loves love and she gonna, you know, continue to, you know, she don't want to be die alone or something like that. But I feel like you can love and still take the time out to heal. What else did Fallon say in this interview that was interesting? It was like she chose to leave, but then she says that she could stay, but then turns around and says that Real Housewives of Atlanta ruined her marriage or ruined her life or whatever. And I'm just like, well, then why go on another TV show? That's one. Then you make yourself look really no better from what people saying about it. But it's like, it sounds like your marriage and shit was already being ruined because you said he was over there cheating with all these different women even before Portia. So I'm like, were you just okay with being cheated on in private and the show didn't have to put a microscope you had going on?
And now she's saying she chose herself. When Portia and Simon first came out, you made it seem like we should be in belief that Simon left you. So what do you mean you chose yourself? Were you given the decision to leave?
I don't think so. I think Simon left her.
I do believe that.
Yep.
I do believe that.
I think Simon had left her a while before she even knew. Like, I think he was going on vacations and doing shit with Portia before she even was really aware. And you know, she saw Jaylan outside the door like she's, you know, fucking Bill Clinton or something. And, you know, because he was the assistant.
Well,
and now, you know, you didn't have a baby by him and now you got to deal with a child as a baby daddy. So good luck with that.
Well, she said that Simon was actually pawning her off on him. On Jaylan. Like, here, take her out to eat. Like, go do this, go do that, go do this, go do that. So he made it easy easier because while he kept her distracted, Simon was able to go off and do whatever he wanted to do. She says she ain't got no issue with Portia, but then she turns around in the same sentence and says that when she sees Portia's face, it triggers her. When she first found out that they were messing with each other or he got engaged, she was like, how long this been going on? And I'm like, see, it had to be going on longer than 2 weeks or however they tried to say, because you know your person. You've been dating him for 5 years, so you know how he moves. So, you know, he ain't just going to jump into that. So it definitely was given that he had been messing with Portia. And I feel like he was dating other women too in the midst of all of that, you know. And of course, a woman that's messing with a man married and knowing he talking, you ain't got no grounds to really say too much of shit to how he move. And he dating out other women and you.
I think Portia like, you know, had her sights set on him though. I think Fallon should forever feel away. Because I think she like came into your life to take your nigga.
Yeah, I agree. She was already in her life. Yeah, I agree. Portia, to this day, I feel like she should have told them producers, I'm not the person to be her friend on the show. Have somebody else do it. But you did it anyway. That shit was weird.
And still hung out at that girl house even after the show. Coming over
that man
in her closet and everything. Thanks, V Lockett, for the super chat. The thing is, she thought she could train a young man like old men do young women. Epic fail. Tragic. I'm trying to see what else Fallon talked about real quick before I hop off. I think that was it. Her 2 kids, she said she couldn't raise the sons because it was a lot or whatever. So now they over there with their daddy. She only got the youngest son. And she also has, of course, the daughter. She's in a new relationship. He's an actor and he's a boxer. She says she might put Jaylan. No, she's probably going to put Jaylan on child support, but she says she don't think they could effectively co-parent. I don't think it's just that. I think that she high key, you know, a little pissed that he went and did that interview because y'all were doing fine so far. But now that he did that interview, you thinking about it. But I feel like that was a threat. I don't think she's going to actually do it. I think that was a threat of keep trying me and I'm going to have your ass tied up. But I just kind of feel like make sure that man ain't in a position to get his kid like the first baby daddy did. Because he got full custody of that little boy and then had you paying child support.
And she said he's an excellent father. So that lets me know that he probably could get custody or at least partial custody so he don't have to pay her, you know, no child support, joint custody or whatever, whichever one it is where you don't have to pay child support. That's probably the arrangement that they're going to have week on, week off.
Yeah.
For sure. He really should.
So, it was just some parts of her interview that was like, I don't know about this one, Fallon. I believe you here, but I can't say I believe you there. So it's giving a little bit of questionable with some of the things that you said.
No, he can't be groomed by her because how was he groomed? How was he groomed? He was her assistant. He was basically her friend.
She said it was shit to groom. She was like, what I need you to groom, what I need to groom you for when I took care of everything.
That was funny to me. Yeah, I don't think she groomed him. I just thought that she could build a man, like build a bear.
Yes.
And honestly, a lot of women do that. So I don't know why y'all acting like that's so unheard of. That's literally what women are taught to do. Pour into him until he becomes what you want him to become. Like that is literally what we're told to do. So I don't like that y'all keep trying to make it the same thing as grooming somebody because I'm gonna keep using.
He's not young enough to be groomed.
He's not young enough, and I also feel like she's not mature enough in her mind to be fucking grooming him. She was like basically rebounding and he saw her being married. He saw everything that was going on in their relationship. He shouldn't have said groomed. What he meant to say was she manipulated me. But the truth of the matter is how the fuck somebody gonna manipulate you when you in the house with them seeing everything that's going on for yourself?
Right.
Groomed is more like when people was talking about that Brittany Renner girl and the NBA boy that was like 19. Y'all remember that?
I remember, but I don't remember them saying it was grooming.
Yeah, everybody was saying that. I don't even know if I would say she groomed him because I don't think she really wanted to be in a relationship with him. I think it was a money grab.
Yeah. And I think the basketball players are stupid. It don't even matter if they're young. They're still stupid. I think he could have been 25 and it still would have had the same outcome. I don't know why basketball players are like that, but she was right when she talked about them being the easiest lick. Look at the NBA. Like, what do you mean?
Right.
Thank you. Go ahead, Bondy. You good? Go ahead.
You know, I was just about to say, I don't think you can call her manipulative if you want to, but I don't think it takes much for a woman like Fallon to get a man to want to be interested in her. Do you really think she had to do extra shit? And like, that's another thing about grooming. Usually when you grooming somebody, like you almost playing a parental figure in their life in order to like gain their trust in another way besides romantically. And I really don't feel like she was trying to gain his trust in any type of way. I think their relationship just kind of happened because they were in close proximity and because of the situation that they were in. But I really don't like when y'all say grooming, because I think it just continues to push this idea or this thing that y'all like to do where y'all try to make men and women equal in every fucking thing that happens, even though, as we see, we're not equal. We're not even equal in this country. So it's weird when every time something happens, y'all keep trying to make it seem like, oh, they both doing the same thing to each other. When, again, he's the one that got up and did the interview. And I felt like when he did the interview, he was trying to get people to like be on his side against her, which is some weak ass shit.
She also said that he reaches out to the guy that she's with now, I guess, in order to cause like division or something like that. Like, I don't know. She could have just talked to Jaylan, and then next thing you know, he'll probably text the dude and be like, oh, well, did you know that she was going over here and doing that? And I'm like, well, that's weird.
But that sound, that tracks for his personality type, you know, like that kind of tracks, you know, just in case you didn't know.
Listen, it's another, I can't deny that, because for me, it makes me think that you are reaching out to get people to see things how you see them when you look at her. That's what you're trying to get that man to be on the same page as you. Yikes. T McFlan, thank you for the super chat. Just sending some love. I appreciate the content and perspective analysis, ladies. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat, HFG, or super sticker. And thank you, Brian Gray, for the super chat. Off topic, did y'all see Taye Diggs and April got a new movie together that's coming out on Peacock? Thank you for the super chat. I did see that. I'm looking forward to it because it seems like it's just gonna be like a clear eye view into their goofy relationship, and I enjoy it so much. I just saw a snippet. I don't know like the overall basis of it, but I just saw them both in the bed and just being like their goofy selves, like acting out and just doing silly stuff or whatever. So I'm like, okay, this gonna kind of be like one of them little comedies. However, I have not been seeing them post each other lately, so I hope that they are still very well together. I like them together.
I feel like I was looking like 2 weeks ago and I saw.
I love it. Like the one where he was trying on those different outfits from Walgreens or something like that. That shit lived rent free.
That was
that
hilarious.
lives rent free in my mind. Okay, the way he was modeling,
I love that.
Girl, Taye Diggs like won us over with being funny, because listen, you know we wasn't fucking with you, after, you know, for a while.
Right,
we weren't fucking with you because you was acting like, you know, black ladies give me your money, but I ain't about to really be with none of y'all. It was what it was given. And you know how black women feel like, okay, well, go get money from those women. But you know, they don't have the buying power that we do. So there's that. So he's back. And you know, April's good enough.
You're right, Jamie. They haven't posted each other in a minute.
Yeah, I hope they're still there. I saw somebody say something about them possibly breaking up, and I was like, let me go over here to their page.
I hope
the last thing
and
they
I hope
posted was the same video in May. Both of them posted the same video of each other, May 30th.
Hopefully they've just been busy working.
Maybe they've been doing this movie, and a part of that, you know, probably not posting or something like that in order to not show. I don't know, but I hope that they still together, because it really, like, I enjoy their videos. I enjoy their interactions. I'm here for it.
Me too.
I don't know. She did just post this, so she might be single.
Oh Lord.
She might be single. She might be looking for the next prospect. But it would also seem like it wouldn't be too far off for her to post this, even if she was still with him, though. Oh, look, somebody commented. They said, well, they're officially done. LOL.
Hate to hear it. Well, guys, that's the show for tonight. We thank you guys so much for joining us. If you have yet to like the video, make sure that you do that before you leave. Also, be sure to follow us over on social media at Bondy Blue, at Jami ThatsMe, at Necey Dixon, Twitter and Instagram at OohLadiesFirst. Okay, please make a note. We will not be here for the next 2 weeks, so girl, we is gonna see y'all in September. Okay, I feel like somebody had a song, I'll be gone until September, but really it's giving Olivia. And she said something about you said you love me in December or something like that. But anyway, girl, we'll be back in September. So y'all, catch us then over on Necey Dixon's channel. You feel what I'm saying? All right. Make sure you subscribe so your notification bells are on and all of that so you'll know when we are back. All right. But that's all we got. And we'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.